Alright folks, we open on a desolate landscape where our hero stands over the corpse of a massive dragon. He's actually done it. And just like every gamer's dream, a system window pops up. Congratulations, you've cleared the ancient dragon's nest's dungeon. But our victor, Shin Sang-yoon, is completely gassed. He mutters a tired geez while leaning on his sword for support. He's 55 years old, my friends, and he is screaming at the sky. Why am I working so hard when I'm almost 60? This poor guy has been grinding as a swordsman for 30 long years. And after all that time, his greatest achievement is just barely cracking his country's top 100. What a legend. With so many players out there, he's basically a nobody. But then he spots something. A glowing skill book has appeared as a reward, and his first thought is, I've eaten artifacts before, can I eat this too? Suddenly, a powerful presence makes itself known. A system message announces that a special spectator has arrived. The late bloomer model student has entered the chat. A figure descends from a swirling blue portal, rocking a pretty slick hooded uniform. The constellation offers a sincere blessing for all his hard work. How nice. He even compliments Sang-yoon on his impeccable final strike. This, we learn, is Sang-yoon's own contracted constellation, the late bloomer model student. Sang-yoon gives a tired but grateful smile back. Haha, thank you. He's genuinely thankful that any god would bother sponsoring a third-rate swordsman like him. The problem is the contract's perks are completely insane. All his stats get doubled at level 850 and tripled at 900. But after 30 years of fighting tooth and nail, Sang-yoon is only level 650. Thanks to those ridiculous conditions, he's never gotten a single buff. Level 850 feels like a galaxy away. His constellation chimes in, urging him to eat the skill book. I was just about to, Sang-yoon replies. With a smile, he declares, I'm going to eat it now, as he channels his energy into the book. This is his one and only unique skill, Devour Artifact. It's literally the only skill he got when he first awakened as a player. Talk about getting nerfed. To figure it out, he actually tried cooking with artifacts. I'm not joking. He tried boiling them in a pan. He even tried frying them. And of course, nothing happened. By the time he finally gave up on his useless kitchen experiments, 30 years had already passed. 30 years, people. He eventually learned that he had to use a different skill, mana synchronization, on an artifact of a suitable rank. Only then would his Devour Artifact skill actually activate. But he realized it all way too late. While other players got strong right after awakening, he wasted decades. He opens the skill book he's been holding, and surprised, the pages are completely blank. Frustrated, he slams it on the ground. Shouldn't this have some instructions? My guy, it's a magic book, not an IKEA shelf. The constellation looks flustered, apologizing that there's not much info and he can't really help. It suggests he just try again since he has a lot of time. Sang-yoon freezes. A lot of time? And he completely loses it, grabbing his constellation. Who said I have a lot of time left? I'm almost 60. He rants that humans die early, and he could have grandchildren by now. The little guy looks absolutely terrified. The constellation sincerely apologizes. Sang-yoon sighs, letting him go. No, you haven't done anything wrong. It's just, my life is full of regrets. He can't forget the person who saved him all those years ago. We see a flashback of him as a bloody kid looking up at the shining knight who rescued him. He tried to be that hero, but now, he's just exhausted. I'm too old now. He wishes he was just a little younger. The constellation just listens, saying nothing. A small, knowing smile appears on the constellation's face. Uh-oh. That's a red flag, folks. With his mind made up, Sang-yoon announces his retirement and tells his constellation to find another player. He's canceling the contract. But instead of breaking, the energy surges back, trapping him in a vortex of purple light. He can only shout in confusion. This scene, being completely overwhelmed by his own constellation's power as his body seems to melt away, was his last memory as a 55-year-old man. A system message reveals the constellation's true plan. It's using the essence Sang-yoon has built up over the years. The world dissolves into darkness as a single process begins. Regression. Suddenly, we're hearing a voice on a TV explains the basics of this new world. Dungeons and gates. A reporter, Park Shang-min, clarifies that these are basically the offices where players work. His guest CEO Han Hyun-jong agrees, calling dungeons stepping stones for players. She goes on to explain that gates are portals to unknown dimensions, basically new places for players to explore. And who's watching this program from his desk?
A young man with black hair.
It's a young Shin Sang-yoon. He smirks while polishing a dagger. I really have regressed. It's been 4 days since he woke up like this. He's still confused, but he knows one thing for sure: he's gone back 30 years. After his constellation's little stunt, he lost consciousness and woke up here in his old studio apartment. He's no longer in his 55-year-old body. He's 25 again, but with all the memories of his past life. He figures it must have been some kind of miracle performed by his constellation. Honestly, there's no other explanation for waking up 30 years younger. Shaking off his confusion, he grins. Well, whatever. Should I go out and work? This is Venomoth's dagger. a simple bronze tier weapon he was lucky to get back in the day. Its rank might be low, but now with his future knowledge, he knows its hidden potential. The system even calculates a 20% absorption rate because he's used it before. The absorption rate is still pretty low, but that's not what matters here. What's important is its hidden skill. He begins mana synchronization with the dagger. His hair turns stark white as black and blue energy swirls all around him. He's entering the gap of unconsciousness. This is the mental space where he eats artifacts. He admits he's always nervous since he never knows what kind of dish is on the menu. A golden, steaming bowl materializes right in front of him. The preparations are complete. The dagger has manifested itself as a meal. It's a rotisserie BBQ chicken drizzled with olive oils, and it looks absolutely delicious. He's so relieved. He was worried he'd get something disgusting, like a humid swamp centipede dish. Gross. With a grin, he grabs a drumstick and takes a bite. The absorption of Venomoth's dagger begins. Success. He's permanently acquired a +2 agility stat. And more importantly, he's unlocked the dagger's hidden skill, Demon Bash. As the artifact is completely absorbed, it shatters into particles of light. One and done. Sang-yun lets out a sigh back in his room. He thinks, it's a shame it got destroyed, even though he knows he wouldn't have used it anyway. But it doesn't matter. He got the skill he wanted, and now it's time to get going. He arrives at the site of dungeon number 83, where Team Yoon Dakyung is getting ready to enter. A man in a blue jumpsuit runs up to the armored team leader. The leader, Yoon Dakyung, looks over, wondering what the porter group leader wants now. The porter leader points to someone off-screen, explaining that the new guy, Shin Sang-yoon, has been assigned to the player team. The porter leader is completely baffled. Sang-yoon is joining the player team, not his porter team. What? Yoon smugly confirms he gave the final approval. The porter leader loses it, shouting that Sang-yoon just awakened and hasn't even finished the academy. He continues his rant, saying that adding an untrained rookie is unheard of and will completely wreck the team's balance. Fed up, Yoon grabs the man by the collar, calling him out. The porter leader immediately freezes, terrified. Leaning in close, Yoon sarcastically asks if the porter wants to be in charge now. The man immediately stammers out an apology. As the porter leader walks away, he mutters to himself about how arrogant the players are. Yoon's own teammate speaks up, admitting he also finds the decision a bit weird. You too? Yoon replies, annoyed. Yoon smirks, revealing his true intentions. He needs Sang-yoon to act up and die to shut the porters up. Wow, what a tool. He laughs, wondering what a level 1 idiot could possibly do anyway. Just then, a cheerful hello rings out as Sang-yoon arrives. My name is Shin Sang-yoon, he announces with a grin. Starting today, I will be working as a player. The nearby porters can only stare at him with expressions of pure contempt and disbelief. The hate is real. Meanwhile, Yoon and his teammate share a smug, knowing look. They're totally in on the joke. Sang-yoon takes it all in. He expected this, but he's a little annoyed they're not even trying to hide their expressions. Yoon claps his hands together, laughing loudly. The newbie has arrived. Sang-yoon, right? Nice to meet you. His cheerful facade drops slightly as he finally notices something. Him? Your weapon? Yoon is shocked to see he's carrying a longsword. Sang-yoon just grins and says, yep, I studied a lot of videos on YouTube. Yoon points out that longswords are super hard to wield, but Sang-yoon clenches his fist and promises he'll at least protect himself. This cracks Yoon up. Gahahaha. You have spirit. Men need to have spirit, just like me. Now thoroughly amped up, Yoon rallies the entire team. Now let's start the dungeon raid. Let's go wild. As they approach the glowing gate, Yoon gives Sang-yoon an order. All right, once you enter, stay on standby at the entrance. Inside, two of the players are already trash-talking, betting on who will get more kills. Typical. Ignoring Yoon's order completely, Sang-yoon calmly walks right past him, heading deeper into the dungeon alone. Yoon is seething. He can't believe the kid's arrogance, thinking he can take on a dungeon after watching a few YouTube tutorials. He glares at Sang-yoon's retreating back. This kid clearly has a death wish. Yoon smirks to himself. He knows this orc dungeon is called the Wailing Wall for a reason. It's where newbies go to fail. He's sure the stupid idiots will learn his place very, very soon. But his thought is cut short as his eyes widen in utter shock. Stupid? Idiot? The entire path ahead is a gruesome scene of carnage, littered with the dismembered bodies of the entire orc horde. Yoon can only stare, completely dumbfounded. Who the heck is he? His mind is reeling, unable to process the scene. What did I just witness? Ah, orcs. The classic fantasy punching bag you see in every game, book, and movie out there. And because they're so common, everyone's got the same idea about them. That idea being that orcs are weak. I mean, sure, compared to something like a dragon, they're not much of a threat. They're just stupid, violent brutes with more muscle than brain. That's the common wisdom, at least. This is exactly why so many arrogant new players jump into a fight with orcs without a second thought. They charge in with a big battle cry, just like this dude is doing right now. But there are a few simple traits about orcs people tend to forget. They average 250 centimeters tall and weigh 180 kilograms. Absolute tanks. The player is snatched up by a massive green hand. Whoops. This massive size gives them a slight power advantage against humans. And by slight, I mean you get turned into a red paint splatter. This is why orcs earned a very cool nickname among players, the Wall of Lament. Back in the dungeon, one of the men gets right in Sang-yoon's face. Hey Shin Sang-yoon. Don't expect any special treatment. You're on your own here. As Sang-yoon walks past, the porter leader spits and mutters, "Arrogant bastard," acting like a big shot just cause he awakened. Sang-yoon just puts on this super strained smile. "I'll try my hardest." But the same dude yells at him, "Don't just do your best, actually do well." Wow, no one is nice to newbies, huh? Ignoring the insults, Sang-yoon turns back looking way too calm. "Can I fight on the front lines if we come across a monster?" The guy is completely floored. He's thinking, is this idiot out of his mind or what? Then suddenly, a massive snarling orc steps into view. The porter screams, but Sang-yoon just grins. Oh, hello there. This is it, folks. His first battle after regressing. Time for the main character glow up. But the yelling dude actually steps in, blocking the orc's first blow with his shield. Okay, he's not totally useless. He immediately screams at Sang-yoon, "You fool! Are you out of your mind? How are you going to use a great sword when you're that slow?" Sang-yoon calmly replies, You didn't need to help me." The dude yells some more, totally ignoring the orc right in front of his face. "Big mistake, buddy." The orc's axe swings down right at his face. He gasps, but before the axe can give him a new haircut, the team leader, Yoon Da-kyung, slams his shield into the orc, saving him. The force of the blow smashes the orc straight into the ground, cracking the stone floor. Bam. Da-kyung turns and shouts at the two of them, "Are you both here on a picnic? Get it together." The other guy apologizes and falls back. Da-kyung takes the lead. "Stay back. I'll take care of this guy." To be fair, he's pretty skilled, expertly parrying the orc's attack with his shield. Rokter the orc yells, So does anyone here speak orc?" He spots an opening and thrusts his sword forward. This is nothing. His blade sinks deep into the orc's chest, right where its heart is supposed to be. The party erupts in cheers. "You're doing amazing, team leader." He pierced its heart. Is it dead? But the orc is not dead. It just growls, a terrifying grin spreading across its face. Oh, that's not good. With a roar, it raises its axe. Da-kyung barely gets his shield up in time, and the impact shatters the ground. Ugh, guess he didn't kill him. Sang-yoon is just watching silently. Yoon Da-kyung might be the highest level here, but at only level 50, he won't be able to land a critical hit against this monster. Screaming in frustration, Da-kyung puts all his strength into one final desperate push. "Bastard, take this. Die already." With a final brutal shove, he finally kills it. The team is in awe. Da-kyung catches his breath, trying to look cool for the team, asking if everyone was alright. And the party members are eating it up. "Of course, you're so dependable," they exclaim. But their little celebration is cut short by another monstrous roar from down the hall. Down the hall, a whole horde of red-skinned, armored orcs appears, their eyes glowing with pure malice. At their head is a massive high orc with a ridiculously huge double-bladed axe. The party panics. Da-kyung, sweating buckets, makes a decision. "We better fall back for the safety of our team." But then Sang-yoon speaks up, his voice eerily calm. "Could I give it a try?" Everyone is shocked. But before anyone could say anything, Sang-yoon is already moving. In a blur of motion, he launches himself off the ground, flying directly at the charging horde. This is going to be good. The high orcs snarl, fully prepared to turn him into a red smear on the floor. With a single, clean cut, Sang-yoon slices the lead high orc completely in half. A great sword sure is nice. The party is speechless. What was that just now? A high orc was split in two. Sang-yoon casually rests the blood-soaked sword on his shoulder. His player info shows the unbelievable truth, he's still level 1. The remaining orcs roar in absolute fury and charge at him all at once. Sang-yoon stands his ground completely unfazed. "I may be low level, but I have quite the experience under my belt." Understatement of the century, my friend. He ducks under a wild swing from another orc, moving with a speed that just shouldn't be possible. He then sidesteps another attack from a massive skull-helmed orc. He's just styling on them now. Twisting his body, he readies his greatsword for a counterattack, a smirk on his face. With decades of experience fueling him, Sang-yoon carves through the orcs like they're made of paper. "Do you know how many of you guys I've killed when I was younger?" Watching from the back, the party members are in total shock. Da-kyung can't believe his eyes, realizing this newbie might wipe out the entire horde by himself. After a whirlwind of steel and gore, only one monster remains. Sang-yoon points his blade at the hulking armored orc. "You're the last one." The armored orc lets out a furious roar and brings its massive hammer crashing down. Boom. But Sang-yoon is just too fast. He dodges effortlessly and counters with a powerful slash, aiming right for the beast's chest. The party leader, Yoon Da-kyung, starts to panic. Its skin is too thick. The attack didn't work. The orc grunts, seemingly unfazed. But Sangyun just smirks coolly, telling his panicked teammate, "Don't be so dramatic." Suddenly, the armored orc freezes in place. A system window pops up. Sangyun has activated a skill, Demon Bash. The beast is completely paralyzed. Turns out, Demon Bash is a hidden skill that can stun any target for 2 seconds. Pretty handy. With the orc locked in place, Sangyun grins menacingly. That's right, stay still just like that. The orc can only roar in helpless rage before Sangyun's blade flashes, ending its life in a spray of blood. Yoon Dakyung and his men are left speechless, staring at the aftermath. What the heck did I just witness? He recognizes the skill as an ultra-short hindrance, something incredibly rare. He remembers a top ranker's best record was only 1.5 seconds, but Sangyun seemed even longer. His teammates are just as confused. How could a newbie who just awakened be so skilled, especially against a tough armored orc? None of this makes any sense. Just then, a system notification pops up. Congratulations, you have leveled up. He also earned a new title, Fearless Immature Puppy. I love it. He checks his status. The new title gives him a +5 evasion boost. The level up is whatever he thinks, but this title is a nice surprise. He also has a new stat point. He doesn't even have to think about it. I've already decided which stat I'll raise. I learned this too late in my last life. He immediately puts the point into luck. He knows that luck is crucial, affecting everything from skill accuracy to item drops. For his new life, it's an absolute necessity. The system confirms the stat increase. As Sangyun closes his menu, Daekyung confronts him. Are you really Shin Sangyun? That skill you used, where did you get it? Sangyun sweats a little, thinking he can't exactly tell the truth, so he plays it cool and lies. I just got it when I awakened. Daekyung is not buying it. You think that makes any sense? He yells, convinced Sangyun must have found a diamond rank artifact or something. With a confident grin, Sangyun offers his greatsword to Daekyung. Want to check for yourself? The stunned team leader hesitantly takes the weapon. The item description pops up, revealing it's just a faded greatsword. It's junk. Daekyung is flabbergasted. It really is just a regular greatsword? Then, that skill really was yours? This revelation sends Daekyung into a spiral. He's been playing for 2 years, reached level 50, and still doesn't have a skill that powerful. He starts worrying about how they'll split the loot. Just then, a teammate shouts that the mid-boss is up ahead. Daekyung reluctantly orders the party forward. As they walk, Daekyung warns Sangyun clearing the minions was easy thanks to you, but don't overstep. That little skill won't do anything against the demon orc. But Sangyun just smirks. This is perfect. He thinks to himself, I almost forgot the real reason I came back to this specific party. The team leader thinks he scared Sangyun off. But Sangyun just asks with a grin, if I take that demon orc down by myself, can I keep the artifact it drops? He gives the team leader an exaggerated smile. He knows this party's rules. They pay based on performance. So the shiny new toy Sangyun is after is the Crimson Stone. It's an artifact that only drops from these lovely demon orcs. The catch? The drop rate is absolutely abysmal. You could grind for weeks and get nothing. But our boy Sangyun knows it's possible. See, in his past life, his team got completely wiped, but they got to watch another party get the lucky drop. So while he's sitting there probably bleeding out, he overhears them celebrating their insane luck. And one of the lucky players mentions it has a super rare skill called Delay. That one word, delay, instantly gets his attention. You can almost see the gears turning in his head. And that, my friends, is the exact skill he needs to pull off his master plan. Flash forward to the present. Sangyun stands over the dead armored orc and decides it's time to be a little dramatic. He smiles, knowing this party splits loot by contribution. So he asks, if I solo the boss, I get all the loot, right? No complaints? The party leader, Yoon Daekyung, is just completely stunned into silence. Now, Sangyun knows he needs that delay skill, but he's also fully aware he sounds like the world's biggest jerk right now. And yep, the other party members are furious. One of them just goes, are you out of your mind? Who do you think you are? Another one yells, you killed a few trash mobs and now you think you're a god? But Daekyung, the leader, shuts them down. He just says, do whatever you want. His team is shocked, but then Daekyung adds a little condition. But only if we fail to kill the boss first. He points right at Sangyun. Only then can you go in and try to solo it. Understand? Sangyun is thinking, wow, that was easier than I thought. He asks, so I guess I'll just sit this one out? Yep, do what you want, Daekyung grunts and marches off with his team. Meanwhile, Daekyung is absolutely fuming. He's thinking Sangyun is just some arrogant rookie with one broken skill. He's dead set on clearing this dungeon just to shut the kid up and prove that experience beats everything. The boss room doors swing open and a system message pops up. And what's waiting for them? A giant silhouette with a single glowing red eye. Boom! The room lights up, revealing the mid-boss, the bloodthirsty demon orc. And look at that, he's got the Crimson Stone right in his chest. Everyone, get ready for battle. Daekyung commands, raising his shield like a true tank. He's remembering the bad intel he bought, thinking this orc is an easy win. Circle around and hit it from the back. He's so confident. There's no way he's letting Sangyun get his little solo play moment. I'll take the lead. he roars, charging in like a hero. And the very next second, someone screams in agony. And it's Daekyung. He's on the ground, bleeding from his head, totally stunned. All he can say is, "Huh, what just happened?" he wonders, looking up to see Sangyun just chilling by the wall, watching the whole disaster unfold. Sangyun just sighs. He knew they were in trouble, but he can't believe they just mindlessly charged in like that. Leroy Jenkins? Anyone? He realizes this is the exact same reason they all got wiped in his past life. Some people never learn. The rest of the party is in a full-blown panic. "Leader, what do we do?" One of them cries. "We're all gonna die." Daekyung doesn't get it. Both the High Orc and this boss are way stronger than the intel said they would be. You can almost hear him thinking, "This is why you don't buy your raid guides off the sketchy black market." Seeing no other option, he yells out the order. "All right, we don't need to beat him today. Everyone, retreat." And how does Sangyun react to this? With the biggest, happiest, most troll-like smile you have ever seen. Daekyung is absolutely livid. What is wrong with you?" he snaps. He ignores our boy and tells the party to sneak away, using the boss's bad peripheral vision to escape. As they're running for their lives, Daekyung turns back for one last word with Sangyun. "I warned you," he says, giving him a death glare. "Don't blame me when you die." Sangyun just gives him a cool little smile. "Don't you worry about me," he replies. "I'm not the one dying today." And with that, he draws his massive sword ready to go. The demon orc roars and brings its giant axe crashing down on him. Sangyun knows that if you just compare their raw stats, he doesn't stand a chance. However, he's got a lifetime of combat experience packed into his brain, and that's a huge advantage. Clang! He perfectly parries the massive axe with his sword. The retreating party members hear the impact. "Did he just deflect that?" Daekyung asks in total disbelief. Sangyun's hand is stinging from the force, but he's holding his ground. Looks like a parry is all he can manage for now. The demon orc growls, and that crimson stone in its chest glows. Sangyun's eyes lock right onto his prize. The reason he's so obsessed with this stone is simple. He wants to combine its delay skill with his own Demon Bash. Right now, Demon Bash gives him a solid 2-second stun, but he knows it could be so much better. See, Sangyun has a unique skill called Devour Artifacts, which lets him combine the effects of different skills. He's been searching for a skill that can stack with Demon Bash to create an infinite stun lock. Classic cheese strategy. And that's where the delay skill comes in. He smirks at the beast and taunts it. "What's wrong? Come and get me." The demon orc lets out a furious roar, completely enraged by the tiny human's challenge. It charges forward, raising that huge axe for another massive overhead swing. But this is exactly what Sangyun wanted. "Perfect," he thinks. "That way, I can find your weak spots." He meets the giant axe with his own blade, and bam! The impact sends sparks flying everywhere. His skill, Demon Bash, activates the moment they make contact. The demon orc freezes instantly, stunned for a full 2 seconds. Got him. Watching from the tunnel, Daekyung is freaking out. That skill, it works on mid-bosses. That's completely broken. Sangyun smirks, thinking about how simple-minded orcs are, even the big ones. He rushes in, his sword glowing with purple energy, ready to end this. But his attack is suddenly blocked. The orc broke free from the stun way too early. Sangyun stumbles back, realizing his mistake. Forgot about that. Uh-oh. The demon orc has a self-regeneration ability. The skill healed it just enough to break the stun effect. Now he has to wait 15 seconds for his stun to cool down. This, he thinks, is exactly why he needs that delay skill. But there's no time to wait. He thinks, if I can't stun him, I just have to beat him. Simple enough. Famous last words. He barely dodges another powerful swing from the orc's massive axe. The party is watching in horror. "Leader, we really need to get out of here now." Daekyung can't process what he's seeing. Even his broken skill isn't working. Why? The stun doesn't work, and there's a massive gap in their stats. So how is this happening? How is he able to keep that smug, confident look on his face through all this? Daekyung is completely baffled. Is this guy really a newbie player? There's no way. But Sangyun has been in this exact spot before. When you're too weak, you focus everything on one single point. You don't try to cut the enemy, you use their own overwhelming strength against them. He plants himself perfectly in front of the charging beast, ready to pierce straight through. With a savage grin, he puts every ounce of his strength into one precise, perfect thrust. His sword shatters the orc's giant axe and plunges deep into its chest, right into the stone. A system message flashes, "Congratulations, you have defeated the middle boss, Demon Orc." He's immediately rewarded with 2 level-ups and a brand new title, E-Rank Demon Hunter. The title gives him a 5-fold increase in health regeneration when fighting bosses. Not bad. He's pretty pleased to already have 2 titles as a solo player, but his victory lap is cut short when he sees the party coming back. Daekyung and his crew are completely speechless, staring at the scene with bloodied, shocked faces. Sangyun decides to have a little fun with them. He feigns exhaustion, leaning heavily on his sword. "I almost died," he cries out. "What would I have done if our leader hadn't damaged him first?" Daekyung just stares, totally confused, but his eyes widen as it finally clicks. Sangyun was giving him a chance to save his honor. in exchange for keeping his promise of giving him the Crimson Stone. Dakyung starts muttering to himself. He gets it. He has been completely, utterly defeated by this guy. To save face, Dakyung starts barking orders. Everyone, listen up. We've defeated the mid-boss. Now we get ready for the final boss. As the party heads out, they're all whispering amongst themselves, completely in awe of Sang-yoon's broken stun skill. Finally alone with his prize, Sang-yoon grins. Now then, why don't I try eating you up? And just like that, our boy Sang-yoon pops into his little secret world. Whoa, he exclaims, face filled with excitement. Before him, a golden bowl of bibim naengmyeon materializes out of thin air. You know, just your average Tuesday snack in the void. He sits down, ready to chow down. A system message pops up, confirming he's about to absorb the Crimson Stone. Wait, artifacts get turned into food so he can eat them? Writer, you are a genius. He shoves a massive bite of noodles into his mouth, and boom. The system announces the absorption is underway. This is the tastiest level up I have ever seen. Thanks to his silver rank, his strength and health stats each get a nice +2 boost. Not bad for a bowl of noodles, right? And just like that, he acquires the special effect he was dreaming of, delay. The system confirms he can now add the effect of delay to his other skills. The possibilities are endless, my friend. But suddenly, he gets a wave of anxiety. He is wondering why he is so nervous. Bro, you are literally about to create a cheat code. What is there to be nervous about? He steels himself and makes the crucial decision. Bind to Demon Bash. Let's see if this crazy theory of his actually pays off. And it works. The delay effect is successfully added to his Demon Bash skill. The new skill description is absolutely insane. Using Demon Bash again during a stun now guarantees an extension. The chances for consecutive stuns are just ridiculous, with a 90% chance for a third hit. This guy is about to become the king of stun locking. Snapping back to reality, Sang-yoon is crouching in the dungeon, a blue aura flaring around him. His hair is back to black. Guess the salon appointment was only temporary. He cannot believe it. A guaranteed 4-second stun. His wild, completely unproven theory actually worked. He is a genius. Just then, Dakyung walks up to him asking to talk. Dakyung points out they are at the final boss room and asks Sang-yoon to join the fight. Do you want me to join in later? Sang-yoon asks. Dakyung's answer is short, sweet, and to the point. No. Changing his tune, Dakyung admits it would be a failure of leadership not to use him and extends a hand, asking to work together. Sang-yoon agrees with a smirk, but reminds him his conditions have not changed. They shake on it, ready to enter the boss room. As Dakyung rallies the team, one of the other party members shoots Sang-yoon a nasty glare. Someone is feeling a little jealous, huh? And you know our boy does not miss it. He clocks that glare instantly. While the leader hypes up the party, Sang-yoon internally confirms, he just glared at me, right? Oh, he is definitely holding a grudge. The party stands at the entrance to dungeon number 85's final boss room, staring down at their target. A monstrous orc berserker, shrouded in dark energy, lets out a terrifying roar. He looks nasty. The team stands ready, facing the shadowy beast. It is go time, folks. Dakyung nervously tells Sang-yoon that he will go in first. He is sweating bullets already, but Sang-yoon simply walks past him, heading straight for the boss. Just stick with me, he declares. As Dakyung protests, Sang-yoon calmly analyzes the enemy, noting that orc berserkers are easier to stun than demon orcs. A walking encyclopedia of monster weaknesses. Confident he can handle it, he breaks into a full sprint towards the roaring monster. This is gonna be good. He scoffs internally at his words. Stick with me? Has he ever been confident enough to say something like that? Nope. His past was defined by fear. As a young man, he was scared all the time. And when he got old, he was just a weak player struggling to survive, pathetically begging for a spot in any party that would have him. It's a classic tragic backstory. He is resolved. He cannot and will not live that same life again. He leaps into the air, his sword glowing, ready to strike the orc berserker. Bam! This time, he will change his weak past and his miserable future. And to do that, he needs to show everyone here exactly what he is capable of. It is showtime. The rest of the party watches in stunned silence from the dungeon entrance. Dakyung stares admiringly. What a monster, he thinks. Yeah, no kidding. Sang-yoon slams his sword down, ready to unleash his overwhelming abilities and finish this fight. Phew. His skill activates and he shouts to the party he will be stunned for 4 seconds. Go and nuke him. Time to go to work. At his signal, the party, led by a roaring Dakyung, charges in to wail on the helpless boss. It is a total dogpile. The orc lets out a final gurgle as the combined assault finishes it off in an instant. Well, that was anticlimactic. System messages pop up congratulating them on defeating the boss and clearing the dungeon. Easiest boss fight ever. The other party members cannot believe how easy it was. It wasn't, but that stun ability made it easy. Suddenly, the porters are all over him, arguing about who gets to be his personal porter. The hypocrisy is real, folks. He just smirks, thinking how quickly they change their tune. Not that he has any intention of helping them. And what is this? He is rewarded with a level up. Sweet. And on top of that, he gets a brand new D-rank title. with overwhelming power. The name is a little on the nose, but I will take it. The title boosts the duration of his status effects by 10%. With his new combo, that is a 4.4-second stun, completely broken. He is amazed he is already collecting titles, something he never managed in his past life. This regression thing is working out pretty well. Still, he knows this is nothing compared to the accomplishments of that man. He's thinking of Do Kyung-soo, also known as the Ghostblade. Do Kyung-soo is Korea's strongest swordsman, a player who earned countless titles just 2 years after players first appeared. What a Chad. In his past life, Do Kyung-soo was a monster who surpassed level 500, someone Sang-yoon could only ever look up to. But now, with this second chance, he feels a surge of ambition. He is getting that psycho look in his eye again. He thinks, there is no saying I will not be able to catch up. Oh boy, here we go. He tells himself he just needs to step on the gas from now on. Full throttle, baby. Daekyung walks over, asking what he is doing. Sang-yoon quickly plays it cool, claiming he is just stretching. Sure you are. Daekyung says, great work, and holds out a glowing gold ring, surprising Sang-yoon. What? A free item? He tells Sang-yoon to take it, admitting that he really carried the party this time. At least he is self-aware. Daekyung smirks, adding that it is just a bronze rank item so he can afford to be generous. Sang-yoon can only call him out for being a little too honest. Laughing, Daekyung admits he would not have given it up if it were expensive. You've got to respect the honesty. He gives it to Sang-yoon because they probably will not be working together again. As much as it hurts his pride, he has to admit it. Daekyung knows that this dude is already living in a different world from the rest of them. You can say that again. The other party members see this with jealousy, wondering why Daekyung is taking care of this new guy after he just showed off a bit. Furious at the unfairness of it all, he pulls out his phone. This cannot be good. He makes a call saying, hello sir, it is me. Looks like he is calling in some shady backup. Later, back at his place in Songpa District, Sang-yoon is beaming. Look at that happy little face. He checks his bank account and finds a deposit of 6 million from Yoon Daekyung, way more than the $200 porters usually get. And on top of that, he got a bonus item. He is looking at his phone and the glowing Berserker ring on his desk. What a haul. The Berserker ring is a bronze support artifact that grants a +10 bonus to strength. Not too shabby. Even for a bronze rank, he cannot believe he got an artifact with the light and special effect for free. His luck is insane. The effect reduces the felt weight of all equipped artifacts to just 1 gram, but at the cost of 1 mana every second. There is always a catch. Ah, that is why it is only bronze. Most players would run out of mana before they could even swing their sword. It is basically useless for them. But with a sly grin, he thinks to himself, he is not like most players. Of course he is not. He is our special, artifact-eating psycho. He only discovered his artifact-devouring ability after 50 years, which is exactly why he studied it so obsessively. He was grinding the books instead of the dungeons. He remembers devouring a mana-based artifact in his past life, and the results were shocking. His face says it all. He discovered that when he devours an artifact that requires mana, the resulting skill loses its mana cost, but it comes with a penalty. Back in the present, Sang-yoon prepares to absorb the ring, a powerful blue aura flaring around him. Who cares about a penalty? The more skills, the better. Meanwhile, at a private club in Gangnam, the jealous party member is spilling the beans. This guy is a real winner. An intimidating man sitting across from him asks if he is raising his voice. The party member immediately apologizes. The large man, drinking with a woman on his lap, scoffs, so what? You want me to get revenge? The blonde guy insists Sang-yoon is loaded and must have a stun-related artifact, but the man just calls him an idiot. What was he supposed to do about it? He stammers that it is about business and mentions Daekyung favors Sang-yoon, but the thug leader cuts him off. So you do want revenge. Another man with a scarred face leans in as a woman next to him mocks the blonde guy, calling him a loser. This is not going well for him. Suddenly, the scarred man whips out a sword and slashes the blonde man straight through the ear. Okay, who the heck do you think we are? Your servants? As the man screams, the scarred thug pours liquor onto the bloody wound. If you want our help, he says, you had better pay the price. He smiles cruelly. Now, where the heck is that guy? Yikes. Things just got dark. The next day, Sang-yoon heads to the training grounds. What is up with my boy? Oh, right. He ate a magic ring. This time it turned into a cursed bowl of cucumber soup. But hey, a little food poisoning is a small price to pay. And he's spinning it around like a cheerleader's baton. Dude, that thing is bigger than he is. How's he even doing that? Turns out, the ring gave him a new skill called lightweight. It makes all his gear weigh just 100 grams. He's actually worried he might accidentally throw his only weapon into orbit, so he decides to stick with the great sword for the time being. Alright, time for a classic status check. He's level 7 now, with a new title, with overwhelming power. His stats are looking pretty good, but check this out. His luck is his highest stat at 16. His big brain plan? It is time to get some cosmic sugar daddies. He is going to start grabbing the attention of the constellations. You only get one constellation, so you have to choose wisely. He is looking for one that vibes with his maxed out luck stat, but whoops. Turns out he is still too much of a lowbie to get noticed by the big guys upstairs. Guess it is time to grind. So he squares up against a field of training dummies. Yep, it is a training montage, folks. Cue the epic music. Sometime later, a car screeches to a halt, and Sang-yoon practically falls out, looking like he just wrestled a bear. He literally says, "I thought I was going to die." My boy spent 3 straight days grinding and then did some long-distance driving, but it paid off. He got a new skill, ambidextrous sword training, fancy. He is pulled up to Dungeon 101, a super exclusive spot for solo players only. Back in his old life, the waitlist for this place was months long. But just as he is about to go in, he pauses. He has got that spidey sense tingling. Yep, there is a car hiding in the woods watching him. So he has got stalkers. He has no idea what they want, but he figures, meh, I'll just deal with them inside. Classic protagonist logic. He steps into the portal, and like clockwork, 3 shady-looking dudes follow him right in. This is gonna be fun. Wait, I thought this was a solo dungeon? Sang-yoon greets them. He's already waiting for them in the dark, ready to throw down. Turns out the bad guys used a special token to cheat the system. Sang-yoon hits them with the death glare and says, "This is my spot." But the thugs just laugh and call him an idiot. He gives them one chance to leave, but he has already sized them up. No healer, no mage. This is not a dungeon party. It is a PK squad. And he knows exactly who they are. The infamous player-killing group, the Hyena Pack. 2 of the goons start running their mouths. "If you die here, they won't even find your body." Famous last words, my dude. Sang-yoon just smirks. He knows the Players Association supposedly took these guys out, but clearly they missed a few. The archer looks ready to get this over with. The leader is confused by his confidence, so Sang-yoon lays it all out for them. "This is why I waited for you. If I need to hide 4 bodies, what better place than a dungeon?" Chills. The big thug finally gets it and starts yelling, but the leader tells him to calm down. He wants to handle this the easy way. The easy way? The big guy is still confused, muttering about ripping Sang-yoon's face off. He is not the sharpest tool in the shed, is he? Sang-yoon just goads them, telling them to come at him all at once. And that is all it takes. The big guy loses it and charges, screaming his head off. But our boy is completely unfazed. He has seen this a million times before. In a dungeon, it is survival of the fittest. And here comes the tragic backstory flashback. He remembers the hard truth from his past life. In dungeons, monsters are always trying to kill you. And so are other players, all fighting over the same loot. Your life is constantly on the line. Brutal. You die if you are weak. There are no rules. To live, you have to kill. That was his reality. And that reality still holds true. Bam. In the blink of an eye, one Hyena Pack member is already on the floor decorating the cave. Sang-yoon just coldly calls it self-defense. Then he taunts them, "What are you doing? Come at me." This guy is a menace. The last 2 are in full-blown panic mode. The leader yells at the archer to give him covering fire while they try to regroup. The archer cannot believe it. Our boy just one-shotted a level 100 player. But there is no running. Sang-yoon starts spinning his greatsword so fast it becomes a literal shield of death. "Hey, where do you think you are going?" Whoosh. With a final curse, the archer gets impaled. Sang-yoon just threw his greatsword right through him. He is a monster. The leader of the pack cannot believe what he is seeing. The archer is now a permanent wall decoration, courtesy of that greatsword. He threw his greatsword? The leader is having a full-on system error, trying to figure out who in the world this guy is. Then, a tiny light bulb flickers on in his brain. If Sang-yoon threw his sword, that means he is unarmed right now. Sang-yoon, meanwhile, just smirks to himself, thinking, "Ah, I got a little too excited and threw it." The leader sees this as his golden opportunity and charges in. Everyone's got eyes on the greatsword sticking out of the dead archer, and they're racing for it. One of them spots Sang-yoon almost reaching it and unleashes a massive strike that smashes the ground. But did he get him? Nah. Sang-yoon dodges and lands perfectly balanced on the hilt of his own sword. "Whoa, that was close," he says. "Show off." The last 2 are just speechless. The leader mutters, "You are insane," right before Sang-yoon pulls his sword free. Okay, with only 2 of them left, the leader pulls the most classic villain move. He grabs his own subordinate to use as a human shield. Bro, really? Sang-yoon does not even hesitate. His blade cuts through the human shield. That is messed up. Sang-yoon lands and starts monologuing. He figured out they are organ dealers trying to awaken mana stones through transplants. My guy is a detective now, too. The dying leader just laughs. "What difference does it make if you know now?" He coughs out. "Oh, he has got one more trick up his sleeve. You bastard," he screams. Sang-yoon just smiles. "Well, I was just asking," and then he activates his Demon Bash skill. Boom. "I was worried you would bore me to death," Sang-yoon says as the skill hits. A notification pops up, stunned for 4.4 seconds. The leader is frozen solid. What? I am stunned? But how? He realizes it was from the tiny cuts he got earlier. a stun skill that works on any damage that is completely broken. Sang-yun just says, "It is over." The leader starts panicking, thinking, "No way, I am the one who does the killing around here." And we get another flashback. This time of the leader being a total scumbag, promising a young recruit the world right before backstabbing him. We see another victim begging for his life. It is clear this guy has always been the predator, never the prey. Back in the present, Sang-yun leans in. "Why? Have you not done this before? Are you scared now that it is your turn?" The ultimate Uno reverse card. And with one last swing, it is done. Sang-yun cleans his blade, thinking that this kind of killing means he has zero chance of attracting the attention of a constellation. But then he immediately backpedals. Wait, that was self-defense, right? So, whatever. Shrugging off his minor existential crisis, he turns to the important stuff. The loot. A system window says he got 8 new artifacts. A whole pile of shiny new toys appears, and he is just thinking, I guess this is all mine, right? Yes, my dude. You earned it. After absolutely wrecking the hyena pack, Sang-yun takes a moment to stretch. Yeah, he's feeling pretty good about himself right now. Time for the all-important status check. Our boy is already level 10 and has gobbled down 11 artifacts. 11! And would you look at those gains? His stats are completely juiced, especially strength and dexterity. What a glow-up. He thinks to himself, maybe I did not need to fight those guys. But looking at these stats, totally worth it. He is also glad eating artifacts does not make him fat. That smug look on his face says it all. At level 10, he's basically rocking the power of a level 50 player. His growth rate is just broken. But wait, there's more. He has one last piece of loot from that little scuffle. He pulls out a shiny gold ring he liberated from the PCare leader. It is a silver grade recovery ring. For just a little bit of mana, it can instantly cleanse any nasty status effect. Pretty sweet. Then he remembers the PCare leader charging at him. Who would have guessed that guy had an item that could counter his stun? A cold sweat breaks out. My friend, if he had only relied on his stun, he would have been absolute toast. He makes a mental note to be less cocky. He slips on the ring and a system message pops up. Time for a little mana synchronization. We now find our hero in dungeon number 101. It is a classic goblin-infested mineshaft. Great spot for a vacation. One of the goblins suddenly stops in its tracks. Its goblin senses are tingling. They turn around to see Sang-shun just chilling in the tunnel, his great sword casually resting on his shoulder. But hold on a second, is he wearing a blindfold? Yup, our boy is wearing a blindfold. Turns out he is grinding for a title called Lucky Day. The requirement, kill 500 monsters with his eyes closed. This guy is nuts. The goblins of course think they have hit the jackpot. An easy, blindfolded snack. They bare their fangs, showing off their terrible dental work and getting ready to pounce. Sang-yun just stands there patiently, pretty much thinking, so, are you guys going to attack, or what? One of the goblins lets out this nasty cackle, drool just flying everywhere. Charming. And then, he feels it. He does not need his eyes to know they are there. He focuses completely, sensing the change in airflow and listening to every single tiny sound. His senses explode outwards, creating a perfect mental map of the area from energy ripples alone. Talk about a superpower. But he has to maintain this extreme state of focus, otherwise it is game over. So, he steadies himself. Okay, he thinks. I got this. With a shriek, a goblin finally charges, swinging its axe right for his head. Whoosh! In a single massive arc, Sang-yun's great sword does not just cut down one goblin, it slices through the entire front line. He just stands there totally calm as goblin parts and blood rain down around him. Perfectly normal behavior. A wicked grin spreads across his face. He actually thinks to himself, man, this feels good. Suddenly he senses it, an arrow zipping towards him out of the darkness. Without even looking, he just flicks his sword and casually parries it. He is already getting the hang of this daredevil routine. Twang. Another arrow flies, and this time he just plucks it right out of the air. What a show-off. The goblin archer in the back is having a complete mental breakdown. Its tiny brain just cannot process what is happening. He figures that his recent near-death experiences have ironically sharpened his senses to a razor's edge. His hair goes white again as he turns to face a sea of glowing red eyes. Looks like the entire goblin village decided to show up. He cracks a confident smile. Come on, you little monsters. Bring it on. And with a massive roar, the entire goblin horde charges right at him. Sang-yun leaps right into the fray, becoming a literal whirlwind of destruction. He is like the Grim Reaper on payday, grinning like an absolute madman as he cuts them all down. The goblins can only scream in sheer terror as he turns them into spare parts, one after another. Soon there is only one goblin left, and it is absolutely losing its mind with fear. His blood-soaked blade drips. The final kill is complete. He stands there in a sea of bodies as system notifications start flooding his vision. Ding, double level up. Even better, he finally got the Lucky Day title. He takes off his blindfold and smirks. It does not feel like I did much. Oh, sure it does not. The title gives him a massive plus 20 to his luck stat, plus a stacking bonus for farming the same monster type. Uh-oh. He gets this devious look on his face. The title collection is coming along very nicely. More goblins approach, but the ones in front freeze. They see the absolute field of carnage he is standing in. Sang-yoon just gives them a full-blown maniacal grin. These poor guys are about to become stat points. After a bit more enthusiastic farming, he checks his status again. His HP, MP, and EXP have all gone up. But get this, thanks to that stacking bonus, his luck stat jumped by 30 points. It is now at a total of 49. He starts to tremble a little bit, letting out a small, quiet laugh. That little laugh explodes into a full-on maniacal cackle. A 30-point boost from one title? This is better than most platinum rank items. He realizes this title could be worth $1 billion. But as he is celebrating, the air around him starts crackling with red energy. A system message appears. Your surroundings have started to grow faint. That does not sound good. He is completely shocked. Already, he thinks. Looks like his plan is working a little too well. It is happening. Just as he planned, his absurdly high luck stat has drawn some very important attention. 3 constellations have come for him. First up is the Cleaner of a Fallen Dimension, offering him the power to make others unlucky. Next is the Pilgrim of Grand Spaces, who is just intrigued and wants to talk. And the third one, oh wow, the Goddess of Luck herself is smiling at him, reaching out her hand. So there he stands, in the middle of a mineshaft facing 3 cosmic beings. Our boy has a very big choice to make. A system alert flashes. 3 constellations have entered the chat. He's completely shocked. Not only did they show up super fast, but 3 of them came at once. Still, he tries to play it cool, laughing and asking, "So how was the little show I put on?" "Smooth, buddy. Real smooth." The Goddess of Luck floats toward him, and all that fake confidence just evaporates. Poof. He immediately starts sweating, thinking maybe he came on a little too strong. He tells himself to be more confident since he never got this kind of attention in his past life. And what do you know, a system message confirms it. The Goddess of Luck is interested in him. Apparently, she's never seen a lucky swordsman before. Sang-yoon, trying to salvage his dignity, just says, "Oh, my luck? Yeah, I've been told I'm pretty lucky." He's so relieved that all 3 of them actually want to sign a contract with him. He decides to take his time and carefully weigh his options like he's on some cosmic game show. The Cleaner of a Fallen Dimension speaks up, praising his hidden cruelty. The grotesque bug monster then lets out a creepy clicking sound. Delightful. This dude is a common pick for slayers. It's probably just interested because he wiped out that goblin horde so efficiently. Next up is the Pilgrim of Grand Space, who seems more interested in what Sang-yoon's true intentions are. This one is the mysterious, edgy type. Now this one stumps him. The Pilgrim usually only shows up for players with the potential to become a saint. So what is he doing here? He wonders if the Pilgrim is just here because of the Goddess of Luck. He remembers she's extremely popular even among other cosmic beings. She's the A-lister of the group. Suddenly, the goddess makes an unbelievable offer. She says she's not the jealous type, so even if he picks someone else, he can still make a contract with her later. It's a cosmic open relationship. He is absolutely floored. Wow, really? He'd almost forgotten, but getting to have 2 contracts is an insane advantage. He remembers the legend of Hashimoto Yuki, the Archer of Miracles. This guy could supposedly hit any target, even shooting into empty space, and had a seemingly infinite supply of arrows. People thought his feats were a hoax, but the truth was way crazier. His insane power came from having 2 constellation contracts, and the one who made it possible was none other than the Goddess of Luck. The constellations start getting antsy, urging him to decide. The pressure is on, and Sang-yoon can't believe these are his choices. What a glow-up. He knows the Goddess of Luck is an amazing choice. But this is it. The decision he makes right now will determine his entire future as a player. No pressure. His mind flashes back to his past life. After his first 10 years as a player, only 1 constellation ever bothered to reach out to him, the late bloomer model student. Back then, that single offer felt like a miracle. He was so happy, ready to charge forward with brand new hope. He thought he had a bright future ahead of him, but nothing changed. Year after year, he just got older and more tired, never making any real progress. He realizes he never experienced a constellation's power because his had the most ridiculous requirements. Double stats at level 850, triple at 900, quadruple at 950. He never even got to use its power, but in the end he has to be grateful. That very same constellation is the reason he was able to come back in time, which means he needs to be extra careful now. He can't assume he'll get a do-over. This is his one and only shot. He weighs his choices again. Holy powers from the Pilgrim, or pure destructive force from the Cleaner? So many flavors of overpowered. Or maybe, luck? Standing before these cosmic beings, he finally makes up his mind. After all that agonizing, Sang-yoon smashes that accept button. And just like that, it's official. A system window pops up confirming he's signed a contract with the Goddess of Luck. The system lays out the terms. This contract is good for 30 years, even if he dies. Talk about a long-term commitment. As they seal the deal, it seems they have an audience. The other constellations are watching, and the goddess of luck flashes a smug little smile, and the cosmic peanut gallery chimes in. 15 constellations send their congrats, but 3 salty ones who lost out promise to get in his way. Haters gonna hate. Sang-yoon is completely baffled. What the heck, he mutters, wondering why he's suddenly the most popular kid in the cosmic schoolyard. But he shakes it off with a smirk. Well, anyway, good luck to both of us, goddess of luck. He takes her hand, and the pact is officially sealed. She praises him for his wise choice and immediately gets down to business, offering him a special contract bonus. All he has to do is make a wish. And folks, the options are completely broken. First up, every single one of his attacks will be a critical hit, no questions asked. Second, if he gets a unique rank artifact or better, its hidden effect will just automatically unlock. No grinding required. And third, he gets a 100% artifact drop rate from all mid-bosses and bosses. It's guaranteed loot every single time. Sang-yoon can't believe his eyes, shouting, "Aren't all of these really broken skills?" Yes, Sang-yoon, yes they are. But wait, there's more. A fourth option appears. For every point he puts in luck, his stats increase by 2, and it even applies to the points he's already spent. He's literally congratulating himself. This is all thanks to your hard work, Sang-yoon. She then asks what he wants to do about the other 2 constellations still awkwardly hanging around. He doesn't even hesitate. That's fine. The 2 of you can go home now, he says. I need to focus on my goddess. The other 2 are just stunned into silence. Savage. The Pilgrim of Grand Space is pretty chill about it, saying he'll wait for their next meeting. The bug monster, however, promises to try and cut off Sang-yoon's head. Yikes. Sang-yoon just laughs awkwardly, noticing how happy his little chibi goddess is. She even praises him for standing his ground. He's already a simp. With these new powers, he feels pretty secure about his future. He tells himself to just calm down and wait for the right moment to make his next move. And his focus snaps back to the present, inside the final boss room of Dungeon 101. He clashes swords with a massive red-haired goblin boss, and the impact sends sparks flying everywhere. Even the chibi goddess looks surprised by the fight, but Sang-yoon is completely unimpressed, taunting the monster. This is all you've got? Do better, you son of a gun. He blocks a powerful blow from the goblin lord, holding his ground against the creature's fury. The goblin's next strike sends him skidding backward, but not before it tags him with a special ability. A system alert pops up. He's been hit with the overwhelmed status. But instead of panicking, Sang-yoon grins. It's finally here. He knows this skill. It's not a full stun, but it's designed to completely crush your will to fight, a mental attack. Gritting his teeth against the assault, he whispers a single word: recovery. The goblin lord smashes the ground where Sang-yoon was just standing, completely shocked that he could even move. Sang-yoon analyzes the attack. He notes that while it's useful against weaker enemies, it's not strong enough to completely stop a target. His recovery skill activates, instantly clearing the overwhelm debuff. Now it's time to test my luck, he says with a terrifying grin. The goblin lord screeches in frustration and tries to use overwhelm again, but Sang-yoon is already on the move. Did you really think that would work? He taunts. Then he activates Demon Bash and slams his fist into the goblin's face, stunning it for 2 seconds. 2 seconds. That's all the time he needs. He unleashes a brutal series of slashes on the immobilized boss. Just as the stun is about to end, his delay skill kicks in, extending it by another 2 seconds. This is just mean. The beatdown continues, and a second later, delay activates again, adding even more time to the stun. The boss can't even play the game. Sang-yoon's face twists into a crazed grin. It worked. He's achieved the perfect inescapable stun lock. Our boy is having way too much fun with this. And with one final decisive strike, Sang-yoon puts the goblin lord down for good. Bam! Of course, the system windows pop up immediately. Dungeon cleared. Another level for our boy. The grind never stops. He finally lets out a sigh of relief. And for his flawless performance, he gets a D-rank title called, get this, Don't Touch Me. Very edgy. Then the victory scream hits. The exhausting blindfolded grind is finally over, and he is letting the entire world know about it. And this new title is actually pretty sweet. It gives him a massive +30 to luck and +10 to evasion, plus the ability to strengthen one of his skills. But the victory high doesn't last long. Between those thugs and this dungeon, he's starting to wonder if he's pushing this new young body a little too hard. Yeah, think? And right on cue, his new patron, the goddess of luck, appears in chibi form. She teases him, saying he must have insane luck to pull all this off. Sang-yoon just shoots back that most people would call it skill. The goddess holds her ground, declaring that good luck is a skill. She tries to take all the credit, but Sang-yoon is already ignoring her. He's got bigger fish to fry, like leveling up that luck stat. He pulls up his stats and his jaw just drops. Whoa, his luck stat is already over 100. And he remembers a key game mechanic here, folks. Once a stat breaks 100, all related effects get a 10% bonus. For luck, that means better loot drops. And speak of the devil, the boss dropped a silver artifact, the Shield of Goodness, a slick support item that turns damage taken into health regeneration. He gives a little nod to his new patron since her blessing guarantees a drop. But that gets him thinking, if he keeps pumping luck, will the loot get even better? He reaches out to claim his prize and starts sinking his mana. As he absorbs the shield's power, the goddess gives him a cute little hug, looking way too pleased with herself. He's got a feeling this new goddess is going to be more clingy than late bloomer model student. But anyway, with his new loot secured, he heads to his next stop, the quest area building. And he is immediately shut down by a very tired-looking employee. No. He tries to argue, but she's not having it. Oh man, he can't let this minor roadblock stop him right now. Flashback to 2 hours ago on the expressway. He's just chilling, thinking about the goblin shield he just devoured. He was worried it would turn out to be some gross-looking food, but it turned out to be normal kimchi and rice. Phew! But his break is cut short when his car just sputters and dies. Every single warning light on the dashboard flashes on at once. Yikes. He just groans in frustration. Welp, looks like he needs a new car. And the problems are just piling up. He needs to move too. At his currently awkward level, he's a prime target for shady people, and he can't live in constant fear. The solution? He's got to move to a player town with constant surveillance. Plus, he'll need to buy some equipment for all the artifacts he's been accumulating. It all boils down to one simple, inescapable fact. He needs money. A lot of money. And he knows just where to get it. When the player system was created, so was an organization to manage quests, the Players Association. This is his golden ticket. He knows he can make the cash he needs within their system, so he floors it, heading straight for the quest area. Which brings us back to the present, where he's still getting stonewalled. The employee is baffled, asking why an unranked player is trying to enter a level 100 dungeon. He insists he won't cause any problems, pleading for her to trust him. He doesn't want to waste his time grinding in a low-level area. The girl's crying with frustration. She's heard that exact same line from other overconfident players who never came back. Yeah, Sang-yoon gets it. He knows people have died from being overconfident, but he can't back down now. He's got bills to pay. Just as he's about to push the issue, a woman with purple hair approaches. What seems to be the issue? She asks. The employee gets super nervous. The woman just smiles and says, hey. A quick status check reveals who she is. Kim Miso, a level 100, A+ rank player from the Eden Guild. Sang-yoon is stunned. Oh, he definitely knows that name. Kim Miso, the marksman of devastation, the first player to ever hit level 100. And more importantly, she's the daughter of Kim Yoon-cheol, the president of Shinsung Biotechnics. This means she's in the same guild as other legends like Shin Tae, the Shadow Assassin, and Cho Jinyo, one of the nation's greatest swordsmen. All of them are members of the Eden Guild. And Kim Miso, her dad's corporation, is the majority shareholder. So yeah, Kim Miso was basically born with a diamond spoon. The biggest Nepo baby in player history. She sizes up Sang-yoon, noting she's never seen him before. She cuts right to the chase, asking why he's so interested in a level 100 quest. Sang-yoon's answer is blunt, I need the money. A group of players nearby immediately starts whispering, calling him insane and arrogant. Sang-yoon hears every word and he is not pleased. Miso warns him the dungeon will be challenging, but he already knows that. He sums up his whole philosophy in 4 words, high risk, high return. Internally, Sang-yoon is telling himself he's not acting this way because he hates her, even though she totally rejected him from her party in his past life. He keeps telling himself he's totally not holding a grudge. Not at all. We believe you, buddy. Totally. But then Miso throws a massive wrench in his plans, pointing out that solo players aren't even allowed on this quest. Oof. Sang-yoon just freezes. He completely forgot the solo player ban won't be lifted for another 4 years. Major brain fart. He tries to play it cool, laughing awkwardly and pretending he just misread the announcement. My bad, he says before trying to bail. But then Miso stops him with a totally unexpected offer. In that case, would you like to come with me? And Sang-yoon is just floored. The peanut gallery can't believe it either. Their jealousy is practically a physical force in the room. They wish they were him right now. Sang-yoon, of course, immediately gets suspicious. He's sure she's plotting something and asks what the conditions are. She plays innocent, asking if she can't just help out a fellow player. But Sang-yoon admits he has a hard time trusting people. Can't imagine why. She insists there are no conditions, but then rephrases it. Instead of a condition, she wants him to make a promise. Leaning in with a chilling smile, she warns him, if you happen to disappoint me, you better pay for it. Now that's what I call an invitation. Completely unfazed, Sang-yoon agrees. He says if he can back up his confidence, he'll expect an apology from her. Oh, now he gets it. She wants to test him. And he's dealing with Kim Miso, the marksman of devastation, whose influence is so massive that anything she does becomes front-page news. But there's a dark side to that fame. If she decides a player is all talk and no skill, she has the power to completely end their career. No pressure. Knowing the stakes are incredibly high, Sang-hyun just smirks right back at her, ready for the challenge. Why don't we leave right now? Alright, so Kim Miso rolls up to the Players Association, looking all important. She shoos her driver away like, yeah, go do your own thing, I got this. Problem is, her guild is ghosting her. Everyone's busy, which means she needs to scrounge up some randoms for her party. Inside, she gets handed her shiny new level 100 badge. But hold on, what's all that yelling in the corner? Drama alert. Turns out, even A+ rankers have to deal with annoying quest rules. You know the type, minimum party size of 2, total pain. But Miso sees this guy's absurd confidence and just gets a little smirk. You can see the gears turning. This could be interesting. They lock eyes across the room and the poor desk lady is just stuck in the middle of their weird power stare. So Miso strolls over and casually asks the employee, "Hey, what's this guy trying to sign up for?" The employee pulls it up and Miso's jaw just about hits the floor. It's a level 100 defense quest to kill 300 wolf monsters. A defense quest? For those who don't know, those are absolutely brutal. You have to kill every single monster or you fail. No exceptions. This is a 4-person job, my friend. For a solo player, it's basically just a fancy way to ask for a game over screen. Sang-yin catches her staring and hits her with a smooth, "Are you nervous?" The absolute audacity of this guy. Miso is just completely stunned. He's like, "You were quiet, so I figured you were scared." He tries to be nice about it, suggesting they wait for a tank or maybe another damage dealer. You know, an actual party. But before she can even finish her sentence, Miso grabs his arm, yells, "No problem at all," and slams the accept button for both of them. Poof. In a flash of blue light, they're gone, leaving a very confused and panicked lobby behind. That poor employee is having a full-on meltdown. She's just praying nothing happens to the famous Kim Miso on her watch. Meanwhile, the lobby peanut gallery starts gossiping. A level 17 newbie in a level 100 dungeon? What a joke. But someone with a brain points out, "Hold on, that's Kim Miso. The youngest A+ ranker wouldn't be that stupid, right?" This kicks off a whole debate about the new ranking system. See, player level doesn't really mean everything anymore. It's all about how many dungeons you've cleared and, more importantly, your raw battle sense. And our girl Kim Miso? She got her A+ rank almost purely on her insane, off-the-charts battle sense. That little plus sign means she's just a step below the real monsters, the S-rank players. But forget all that. The real tea is that some random guy just walked into a dungeon with the Kim Miso. The jealousy is practically a physical force. Meanwhile, our duo gets teleported to the Age of the Night and Wolves. It's basically Gotham City during a hurricane. Miso's already perched on a rooftop, bow in hand, looking like a superhero. She's mentally preparing to take responsibility for this whole mess. Her plan? Let him struggle a bit, teach him a lesson, but jump in if he's about to get turned into Wolf Chow. Let's rewind 30 minutes. Sang-hyun had the nerve to lay out his terms. She stays out of the fight and he'll give her 5% of the reward. 5%? Miso wasn't even mad about the tiny cut. She was just baffled by his sheer confidence. She told him there's no way he could handle 300 monsters alone. She tried to explain that this quest is tough even for her at level 100, but he just smirked and told her to wait and see. Back in the present, Miso remembers her counter-offer. For every monster he misses, her cut goes up 1%. If he loses 95, she gets everything. And right on cue, massive blue wolves with glowing purple eyes start spawning all over the highway. Showtime. Sang-hyun doesn't even flinch. He just readies his sword and tells her not to worry. "I'll take care of them all." Famous last words. Then, whoosh, he's a blur of motion slicing through the first wave of wolves in a single perfect strike. Miso, watching from above, can only manage a single dumbfounded, "Huh?" He lands without a scratch, a wicked grin on his face. They make some pretty pleasant sounds when they die. Okay, my guy is a little unhinged. And just like that, Miso's world is rocked. This dude isn't just arrogant, his form was absolutely flawless. She starts breaking it down. His stance has the perfect balance of offense and defense, just like her guild's top warrior always preaches. There's zero wasted movement. Every swing takes out multiple enemies. Still, she can't help but think he has room to improve. Classic pro-gamer mindset. From her vantage point, Miso sees the problem. There are way too many wolves. No normal level 17 player stands a chance against this horde. But Sang-hyun? Down on the ground, he's just smirking, looking like he's having the time of his life. Then Miso notices something's off. She's like, "Wait a second, why did all the monsters just stop moving?" A system window pops up. Demon Bash has been activated. Yep, the entire pack of wolves is frozen in place, stunned. Her eyes go wide. They're stunned? Did he use a stun? A warrior with a stun skill? That's not supposed to happen. The shock is so real she actually stumbles and almost falls off the rooftop. Whoops. Phew, that was close. She catches her breath, mind racing. There's no doubt about it. He definitely used stun. She does some quick mental math. That stun lasted at least 4 seconds. That's even longer than her guild's tank. With that much time, he can clear the entire field. And down below, Sang-yoon is doing just that, carving through them. Miso is wondering, the heck is he, while he's thinking, why is this so easy? And then, just as he's getting cocky, bam, his confident look disappears, replaced by pure shock. One wolf breaks free from the stun early and lunges right at him, catching him completely off guard. The hit sends him flying, but he manages to land on his feet among the still frozen bodies of the other wolves. He looks up, a little bit of sweat on his face, but that shock turns into a predatory grin. There you were, because that wasn't just any wolf. Emerging from the pack is the real boss, a colossal black wolf with glowing red eyes. The beast lets out a terrifying growl, its whole body crackling with dark, chaotic energy. This is the main event, folks. Sang-yoon thinks to himself that he never saw this monster in his past life, and yet it feels weirdly nostalgic. Uh-oh. A system alert flashes. He's been hit with a stun debuff. The big bad wolf has the same ability as him. Suddenly, massive bolts of purple lightning crash down all over the city block. This isn't just a stun, it's an area of effect nuke. Miso gets caught in the blast too, but a notification pops up. Her fancy artifact protected her. Phew, pay to win, I guess. She's in total disbelief. Right, the black wolf used stun too. I almost forgot about that. She immediately feels bad for trying to critique his form when he's dealing with a boss that literally has his own unique skill. She thinks there's no way a low-level player could have a skill to cancel a debuff, right? That would be completely broken. And then speak of the devil. A system window flashes. His recovery skill has deactivated the stun. Of course he has a debuff cleanse. The second he's free, Sang-yoon unleashes a massive swirling counterattack of his own. Miso is just speechless at this point. A perfect stance, a long stun, and now a debuff cleanse? How is this possible? All of this from a level 17 player? Meanwhile, Sang-yoon just grins, absolutely loving this insane challenge. The black wolf is totally confused. Its prey is moving again. Sang-yoon just taunts it. Are you surprised? As he charges in. He uses that split second of the wolf's confusion to his advantage and drives his greatsword straight through the monster's skull. Boom. Headshot. The terrifying beast lets out a sad little whimper, its body frozen solid. Looks like it got a taste of its own stun medicine. And with that, the massive wolf collapses, slamming into the highway with a heavy thud. It falls right on top of him, crushing him under its weight. It got all over my clothes, he complains. Priorities, my man. But then a dark smile spreads across his face. Since I'm already dirty, why don't I have some fun? Oh no. Watching the monster's remains turn into glowing purple particles, Miso can't help but smile. She is completely hooked. And she asks herself the one question we're all thinking, who the heck is that guy? Sang-yoon sits on a literal mountain of dead wolves. He's just 1 kill away from finishing this defense quest. 299 down, 1 to go. And boom, final kill is in. The system just starts spamming him with level up notifications. You love to see it. Our boy smirks while checking his stats, feeling pretty good about himself. He's thinking, I'm rushing through these levels. A little full of himself, don't you think? He also snags a brand new D-rank title. Let's see what we got. No fear. Okay, sounds pretty epic. And this handy little title makes him immune to debuffs from regular wolf-type monsters. Bosses, however, are a different story. The battlefield goes quiet for a moment, but surprise, surprise, he's not alone. Kim Miso is perched on a skyscraper getting a front row seat to the show. Sang-yoon can totally feel her watching him. He's thinking, looks like she's starting to believe in my skills. Buddy, she probably just thinks you're a lunatic. So he stretches dramatically, pretending his back is sore. This guy is all about the theatrics. He's ready for the grand finale. And right on cue, a monstrous bipedal wolf with glowing red eyes steps out of the shadows. This thing is not messing around. But Sang-yoon just stares it down, completely unfazed. He's all like, are you ready? The beast answers with a deafening roar, and the system makes it official. We've got the final boss, the full moon wolf lord. The wolf lord lunges, claws ripping up the asphalt, but Sang-yoon doesn't back down. He leaps right in to meet the attack head on. He's actually smirking, my friend. He knows this wolf's specialty is its weird attack patterns, but with 30 years of experience, our boy has seen it all before. He thinks, sorry, but I know every single move you'll make. And then bam, he plunges his massive sword straight into the wolf lord's head, and his demon bash skill fails to activate. Whoops, he's stunned for a second, realizing this level 100 boss has skill resistance. Meanwhile, Kim Miso is watching from her rooftop seat, just completely baffled. Her only thought? He's insane. She just can't figure it out. Not only did he ignore a stun debuff, but he's swinging that giant sword around like it's a pool noodle. The wolf lord snaps at him with its massive jaws, but Sang-yoon just casually sidesteps the clumsy attack. Too easy. So the beast tries a different tactic, firing a huge energy beam from its eye. but Sang-yoon just tanks it, blocking the blast with his sword and pure muscle. The Wolf Lord is getting seriously angry now, and that's when it clicks for Miso. He's not just strong, he knows every single attack pattern this boss has. Sang-yoon's eyes are gleaming. He's thinking, I already know everything. I've done this countless times. The ultimate gamer flex. But what really gets Miso is his attitude. He's not just fighting, he's putting on a show. A performance designed specifically for her. And a grin just spreads across her face. She's not scared. She's intrigued. She whispers, "Who in the world are you?" The force of their fight completely shatters the bridge they're on. Sang-yoon coughs, admitting to himself that this is taking way longer than he expected. He's actually annoyed that he's run out of cool moves to show off. Meanwhile, the Wolf Lord is just wondering how this human has so much stamina. But Sang-yoon is not fine at all, folks. He's down to his last sliver of health. We're talking one-hit KO territory. Just when he thinks it's game over, his eyes widen. He recognizes the wolf's next attack pattern. He's seen this before. It's a classic bait and switch. The wolf uses a strong attack to draw him in, setting up its deadliest piercing move, the one that's killed countless players. He braces himself. Desperate times call for desperate measures, he thinks. Looks like he's got a trump card. The Wolf Lord charges in, its claw glowing with purple energy. It's going for the final blow. Miso watches in absolute horror as the attack connects. The claw goes straight through Sang-yoon's chest. Ouch. She collapses to her knees, screaming his name. She's blaming herself, thinking she let her guard down and got him killed. Talk about drama. But then a brilliant, warm light suddenly envelops her. She looks up, completely confused. What is this? It turns out Sang-yoon had an ace up his sleeve this whole time. By absorbing an item called the Shield of Goodness, he got a special effect called Sacrifice. It's a bonkers conditional healing skill. It converts all damage to one specific body part into healing. And if the hit is strong enough, it's a full restore. Let's flash back for a sec. We see Sang-yoon reviewing the skill. He thinks, a conditional healing skill? Still useful even after I absorbed it. Understatement of the year, my friend. The system then asks him to pick one body part to apply the effect to, giving him 16 different options to choose from. The options are super specific, so he gets clever. Since his back is split into 4 zones, he figures it's better to just select his entire front as one zone. And it works. A brilliant green light erupts from his chest, and just like that, his health is instantly back to maximum. What a gamer move. Back in the present, he starts taunting the Wolf Lord. If I missed by even a little, I would have died, he says. Too bad for you. He activates Demon Bash again, and this time, bam, it connects. The Wolf Lord is finally stunned. Sang-yoon figured it out. By slicing off the beast's arm earlier, he finally broke through its skill resistance. Big brain time. His shirt is shredded and his chest is bleeding, but he's just grinning like a maniac. Now then, he says, let's see how lucky I really am. And just like that, the battle is over. Miso lands on the bridge to find Sang-yoon standing over the Wolf Lord's corpse, his sword buried in its head. He turns to her with a casual smile, acting like he wasn't just impaled a minute ago. You finally here, Miss Kim Miso. You could have told me you had a healing skill, she yells at him. I thought you were a goner. Can't blame her for being a little worked up. Then she asks the million-dollar question. Are you living your second life, or something? How do you know all the Wolf Lord's attack patterns? She's getting warm. Miso gives him a wink, admitting that out of all the players she's ever met, he's the first one to completely baffle her. That's a high compliment. She trails off, saying, it's as if, but before she can finish her thought, Sang-yoon cuts her off with a sly grin. As if what? As if what? Sang-yoon repeats, radiating some really dark energy that even Miso could feel. It's as if I was watching a rancor, she finishes. Relief fills Sang-yoon. He was sweating bullets, thinking, oh no, she figured out I am a regressor. Calm down, dude. He gets a grip, realizing a normal player would not even know what regression is. Yeah, probably a safe bet. Not everyone is living in a webtoon, my friend. Miso finally snaps out of it and points at the giant wolf boss. She is like, so? Are you gonna finish collecting your XP or what? The poor wolf is still barely hanging on, letting out a little growl. Sang-yoon turns with this ridiculously cool guy smile. He goes, whoops, forgot about you. Let me fix that. Such a drama queen. Boom. He lands the final hit and a system window pops up. He's got a new C-rank title, Face Off. His stats page updates, showing him at level 27 with 7 different titles. Not bad for a beginner, so this Face Off title gives him a 20% stat boost in one-on-one fights. A pretty sweet deal for a solo player. Sang-yoon's looking at his status window like he just won the lottery. A solo play buff? Perfect for him. Miso has this knowing smirk. You know about this title? Sang-yoon asks. Yeah, because she already soloed this before. But her lying skills are absolutely terrible. She immediately backpedals, okay, fine, I only managed to clear it because of my artifact. Sun-shun tries to comfort her. Getting the right artifacts is a skill on its own. Alright, fine, she concedes. Thanks for the compliment, my dude. But you can see the gears turning in her head. She's rocking gear worth over 200 billion won, and this dude did it with a budget greatsword. Make it make sense. She changes the subject, telling him to test out his new title. She is definitely up to something. And right on cue, a notification pops up. Face-off is active. The system apparently thinks Miso is his next opponent. Sang-yin just laughs at his panicked face and waves the window away. Nah, he's not gonna do that. Then the title's effect gets cancelled. She says she has to bounce to call her porters for all the loot, leaving him standing there. And our boy Sang-yoon is just standing there thinking, nailed it. I definitely made a good impression. Oh, you sweet summer child. Then she drops a bomb. She's giving up her 5% cut of the rewards. Sang-yoon's jaw hits the floor. He starts protesting that it is unfair, but she just casually waves him off while walking away. She calls it an investment in him, promising they'll work together again in the future. Now that's a power move. She leaves him just standing there laughing awkwardly. He is finally realizing this woman is playing chess while he is playing checkers. Alright, with Miso gone, it is time for the main event. He turns his attention to the boss drop. And there it is. The Blue Moon Stone, a platinum rank artifact that's a straight up buff to health, mana, and luck. My man is literally trembling with excitement. You would think he'd never seen loot before. He screams out that he finally got a platinum artifact. Okay, calm down, it is just a glowing rock. He is hugging it like it is his newborn child, already dreaming about buying an apartment with the billion won it is worth. Right on cue, the chibi goddess of luck pops in for her victory lap, but Sang-yoon actually scoffs at her, claiming it was his own doing. Suddenly, another constellation with a ridiculous name objects to his good fortune. This is getting weird. And now the whole system wants to banish the goddess. Divine drama, folks, you love to see it. But she is not having it. She calls for a vote from all the other constellations to settle this. In a total on a reverse card move, she proposes to banish the other guy instead. The votes immediately start pouring in for her. Bam! Unanimous decision. Her rival gets vaporized. Do not mess with the popular kids in the celestial playground. Sang-hyun just watches all this divine politicking go down. He is like, right. I forgot she is super popular. Yeah, you probably should not have dissed her, buddy. Anyway, back to the loot. He can absorb 40% of its stats, but the special effect is the real prize here. It is called Age of Dogs and Wolves. It gives him 5 times health recovery and permanently stuns any wolf-type monster. That is completely broken. My guy is grinning like a villain. He is now the ultimate dog catcher. Fenrir does not stand a chance. A system alert pops up and he starts syncing with the stone. The power-up sequence begins. Zap! He is teleported back to the quest area lobby, crackling with cool blue energy. He steps out of the portal and his eyes widen with shock. It is a giant crowd of players, and every single one of them is staring right at him. Talk about an audience. Everyone is whispering about the rumors. Did he really clear a level 100 dungeon all by himself? The poor association worker looks terrified, but Miso calmly steps in to handle the situation. 3. She basically says, yeah, who in their right mind would let a level 17 player do that? Except me, of course. Then she points at Sang-yoon with a smile, telling the worker to keep an eye on him because he will be a regular. She is already managing his PR. Sang-yoon is feeling a little smug when suddenly someone shouts his name and the piece is shattered. He is immediately mobbed by guild recruiters in suits. This one guy, Yoon Woohan, is practically begging him to join them. The price of fame, my friend. Before he can even breathe, Miso swoops in and grabs his arm, claiming he has important business with her. The recruiters are stunned, thinking the Eden Guild is scouting him. Miso just gives Sang-yoon a look like, play along, dummy. He stammers out a yes, having no clue what she is planning. But hey, at least he is free from the suit guys, right? That is a win. Next thing you know, they are speeding away in a sleek black limo. Now that is an upgrade. His phone buzzes, and boom, a 500 million won deposit hits his account. Must be nice. He has this goofy grin, amazed at how fast the rich life works. Welcome to the 1%, kid. Miso just casually explains that is what happens when you have A-rank porters and influence. She is on another level. Sang-yoon is practically swooning, still staring at all those zeros on his phone screen. And suddenly, she calls out to her driver. And the limo windows black out, going into a privacy mode. Sang-yoon looks completely stunned. Oh yeah, he knows exactly what is coming. The bill for all this kindness and cash is finally due. Miso drops all pretense. I will get straight to the point, she says, her voice turning cold. She looks him dead in the eye and lays it all out. Player Shin Sang-yoon. Join the Eden Guild. And there you have it, folks. Kim Miso wastes no time and gets straight to business. She's like, please join the Eden Guild. She gives him this whole sales pitch about how her guild is literally called Eden because it's paradise. Sure, lady, whatever you say. She's so confident in her offer, but look at our boy Sang-yoon's eyes. He totally saw this coming. Before he hit the reset button on his life, he was also part of a small guild. Back then, that little guild was his everything. They took him in when he was a talentless nobody. But we all know how those stories end, don't we? Cue the tragic flashback. Yeah, he knows being in a guild is fun, but they'd just be a set of shackles holding him back. Flying solo will help him get stronger faster. He tries to let her down gently, but Miso just cuts him off with a question that hits him like a truck. You're planning to start a solo guild, aren't you? And bam. Our boy is completely shook. You can practically see the loading screen in his brain. How in the world did she know? Miso just leans back with the smidgest look I've ever seen. She's like, oh please, I'm the daughter of a megacorp chairman. You think I didn't figure you out? She basically tells him that with his OP skills it was the most obvious conclusion. This girl is playing 4D chess. Then she drops the bomb. And right now it's very important that I'm the only one who knows. Oh snap. That's a power move right there. Sang-yoon is just floored. This whole time she knew his master plan and tried to recruit him anyway? What a psycho. He finally gets it. She put all her cards on the table to force a partnership. My friend, this is what a master negotiator looks like. A little later, our boy Sang-yoon is setting up his new base of operations at a place called Player Town C, signing the lease on a new apartment. The agent lays out the terms, 100 million deposit and 5 million monthly rent. He cracks a joke. Ma'am, you're saying it with a smile, but those numbers are quite scary. She just laughs it off. She urges him to take it because it's a really good deal and he's in luck because all the other people didn't show up. Yeah, that's probably because of our little chibi lady luck. Inside his new crib, Sang-yoon takes a moment to just stare out the window and think about how crazy things have gotten. So much has changed since he got sent back in time. At first he was just a confused mess trying to figure out what was real. He had no idea what to do with this second chance at life. But then, something clicked. He remembered a feeling he thought he'd lost forever. The rush of youth, the power coursing through his veins. It's like his whole body was screaming at him. Even before he threw a single punch, the sheer power of his younger body was begging to be unleashed. You can just feel the protagonist's energy radiating off him. And that's when he made a promise to himself. This time would be different. He wasn't going to live like a pathetic loser anymore. And ever since he made that decision, the universe has just been throwing opportunities at him left and right. Funny how that works. Like this one. He's shocked to hear Miso casually chatting on the phone with reporter Park Jungmin from the Player magazine. This dude is an S-rank journalist, folks. And what are they talking about? Of course, it's the new rookie on the block making waves, some guy named Shin Sang-yoon. After she drops him off, Sang-yoon is about to bounce, but Miso calls him back for one more thing. She invites him to join a small, unofficial team to tackle an unconfirmed gate. It's for players under level 120. And our boy, without a single moment of hesitation, literally screams, I'll go. Miso is completely bewildered. She's like, you turned down my offer to join Eden Guild, but you're screaming about this? But Sang-yoon can't help it. This is his first real gate. You have to understand, my friends, this is a big deal. See, dungeons are predictable, like a stable map, but gates are totally random. The layout, the monsters, everything can change in an instant. But every gamer knows the golden rule. Higher risk means higher reward. We're talking about some seriously epic loot here. Sang-yoon is practically vibrating with excitement because these unconfirmed gates have a secret weapon, a first-time clear bonus. We're talking a guaranteed high-rank artifact for the first team that clears it. That's a massive shortcut to becoming totally overpowered. He's pretty sure that's how Miso got her crazy stun-immune artifact. Unless, she just used her dad's credit card. So, back in the car, Miso tells him to get ready, since they'll be working together a lot. Time to exchange numbers. She casually hands him her phone and asks him to put his number in. A classic move. But as he takes it, he accidentally sees her lock screen. And it's a funeral portrait of some guy. Miso completely panics and snatches the phone back, all flustered. Oh sorry, wrong screen. She starts mumbling to herself, super embarrassed, while Sang-yoon just stands there like, okay then. Later, back in his new place, Sang-yoon thinks about that super awkward moment in the car. Looks like she's got some heavy baggage of her own. But then again, in this world, who doesn't? Even our boy has a secret he can never ever tell anyone. You know, the whole I died and came back thing. He starts to wonder what would happen if anyone ever found out he's a regressor. Probably nothing good. Yeah, no matter how you slice it, it would be a massive pain in the neck. His mind wanders back to his old constellation, the late bloomer model student. What a name. He wonders what they're up to now. I mean, they were partners for years. That's a long time to have a space god whispering in your ear. He gets a little sentimental, wishing he could at least see their face just one time. Meanwhile, over in the Eden Guild VIP room, some buff dude in an orange jumpsuit is sitting across from Miso. And he is not happy. He's complaining that she's just staring at her phone instead of talking to him. Miso just smiles and says she's texting Sang-yoon about the gate, and the guy immediately starts teasing her. Wow, you're really into him, aren't you? She tries to deny it, but he's not buying it. He's like, I get it, he can take a stun longer than me, and he even shot you down. Total Chad move. Miso just smirks and tells him he should be more worried about himself. Then she twists the knife. His swordsmanship was pretty good. Maybe even better than yours. Ouch. The guy just bursts out laughing, totally shocked. Turns out, this guy is Jorginho, a level 700 S-rank player, and he thinks comparing some rookie to him is the funniest joke he's ever heard. Out at the training grounds, Sang-yoon gets a call from none other than Kim Miso, and she's got some hot gossip. The gate they talked about before just spawned near Chunni Station. She's already dropped the intel, so Sang-yoon pulls it up while Yoon Dae-kyung waits patiently. His eyes go wide when he sees the mid-boss. It's Cerberus, the giant three-headed hellhound, and a massive grin spreads across his face. Oh, perfect timing. He's got a new toy he's dying to test out. Thanks to that Blue Moon Stone, his new passive skill is basically a permanent stun lock for any dog or wolf-type monster. Totally broken. He quickly wraps up the call and turns to Dae-kyung, who takes a jab about being ignored. Dae-kyung gets all awkward, calling him captain before quickly taking it back. Old habits, I guess. He just laughs, saying Sang-yoon is a big-shot celebrity now and doesn't need formal titles. Sang-yoon tries to brush it off, but Dae-kyung leans in and asks if he's gotten the call yet. Our boy has no idea what he means, so Dae-kyung just shoves a phone in his face. Bam! He's on the cover of the Player magazine. Sang-yoon is completely stunned. Dae-kyung just cackles, telling him to check his own phone. And he's right. It's blowing up with notifications. He cannot believe they'd publish this without even asking him. Deciding to deal with his sudden fame later, he gets back to business and points to a bag Dae-kyung is holding. Sang-yoon is thrilled, thanking him profusely until Dae-kyung has to remind him that it's not a gift. Inside the bag is Dae-kyung's old gear. He's totally confused why Sang-yoon wants used artifacts instead of new ones. Sang-yoon plays it off, saying he's just a history buff. Dae-kyung is not buying that for a second. He calls it a personal superstition, but he's really thinking how he can't explain that old gear has a better absorption rate when he eats them. Just then, a woman walks up, apologizing for being late. Talk about dramatic timing. She brushes her hair back and asks if they're ready to start the appraisal. Dae-kyung introduces her as the appraiser he brought along to make sure the deal is fair for everyone. She gets right to work, kneeling down as a wave of purple energy flows from her hands over the loot. And just like that, the appraisal is finished. Phew, she lets out a huge sigh of relief. She confirms all the items are legit and the deal is fair, which makes Dae-kyung pretty happy. But before they finalize things, Dae-kyung asks if Sang-yoon can take a look at his sword skills. Sang-yoon tries to play the humble card, saying he's not qualified, but Dae-kyung is not having it. He tells him to cut the act. He knows Sang-yoon is on another level and he's not too proud to ask for advice. You can see the struggle on Sang-yoon's face. He really does not want to become a sensei right now. Dae-kyung gulps under his intense gaze. Fine. Sang-yoon changes his mind. It would be rude to refuse someone trying to level up their skills. Dae-kyung is pumped, yelling perfect, as he gets his sword ready for a private lesson. Sang-yoon turns to the appraiser and tells her she might want to take a few steps back. With a massive roar, Dae-kyung unleashes a crazy flurry of strikes. Whoosh! Sang-yoon just watches with his arms crossed. He's actually a little impressed. This guy has clearly been grinding since he last saw him. But you knew there was a but coming. He spots a critical flaw. He lets him swing a few more times before calling his name, completely breaking his concentration. And then he just drops the bomb. Is something wrong with your left arm? Straight for the jugular. He explains that Dae-kyung opens his left shoulder way too quickly, like he's unconsciously protecting it. Busted. Dae-kyung admits he's right. He has some serious trauma from old injuries on his left side. He says even though he knows what the problem is, it's a mental block he just can't seem to break. But you can fix it. Sang-yoon says it with so much confidence that Dae-kyung is just speechless. He tells him to stop hiding his weakness and instead lean into his strengths. A true shonen protagonist moment. Then he gets all hands-on, adjusting Dae-kyung's grip, his stance, even his breathing. As Sang-yoon gives his instructions, the appraiser just watches this weirdly intimate training session, completely baffled. The situation gets awkward fast when Dae-kyung starts grunting in pain, and the poor appraiser starts blushing furiously. Her eyes are practically bugging out as she listens to them talk about pain and getting better. This sounds so wrong. Her brain is just screaming, what in the world is wrong with these two? And as Sang-yoon gets up close whispering his name, the appraiser's mind just short-circuits. What is she even watching? Later that night, her search history tells the whole story, poses for when men hold a swords and player love. She is scarred for life, my friends. Cruising along in his ride, Sang-yoon is feeling like $1,000,000. He's already thinking about the massive stat boost he's going to get from those artifacts. He is convinced this was an absolute steal. But still, something about that deal felt a little off. Dae-kyung was fine, but that appraiser was giving him the weirdest look. Ah, whatever. Who cares about some side-eye when you're about to literally eat your loot for a power-up? And just as he's dreaming of all his future gains, bam, he's forced to slam on the brakes. He gets out, putting on his best oops, my bad face. But the big tattooed dude isn't buying it. You're finally here? He asks. Uh-oh, The guy just yanks his car door right open, totally casual about it. I was getting tired of waiting for you, he says. The big guy just leans in, asking what he's doing. Get out of the car, now. Sang-yoon is totally lost. What the heck is happening? Meanwhile, his blonde sidekick is mocking him. It's always the idiots who react like that, he sneers. And just to make it crystal clear, the big dude summons a fireball in his hand. Okay, so talking is officially over. He gives Sang-yoon a simple choice. Burn with your shoddy car or get out and face the music. But wait a second. As Sang-yoon looks at them, it finally clicks. He knows these clowns. Oh yeah, Choi Young-keol and Cho Sung-ko, famous members of the not-so-utopian Utopia Guild. He remembers them from his past life. Alright, they were YouTubers who built their entire channel on bullying newbies. Real classy guys. Young-cheol was the main act, a predator who only picked fights he knew he could win. And Seung-so was just his loyal cameraman, filming it all. Eventually, Young-cheol took things too far and landed himself a life sentence. I guess you could say his channel was permanently demonetized. Back in the present, Seung-go is still running his mouth. Sang-yoon just sighs. In other words, these guys are complete and utter trash. The two bullies laugh as their player info hovers in the air. Young-keol is level 100 and Seung-kyo is level 75. They definitely think they have the upper hand. So Sang-yoon grabs his massive greatsword and steps out of the car. He really wanted to test his new artifacts, just not on these annoying pests. Young-keol scoffs, puffing out his chest. I'm the security force around here in Player Town, and a lot of people have been complaining. They mentioned some punk kept driving around in a shoddy car, he says, giving the vehicle a dirty look. And then bam, he just kicks a massive dent into the side of Sang-yoon's brand new car. Sang-yoon just stares, completely speechless. So, do you get it now? Young-keol sneers. Take your junk and get lost. Of course, a crowd is starting to form now. Ugh, it's those guys again, someone mutters, always picking on someone weaker. But then, one of them recognizes our boy. Wait a minute, isn't that the guy from Player Magazine? The one who went to the quest area with Kim Miso? He struggles to remember the name before shouting, Shin Sang-hyun. That's him. Seung-ko overhears this and does a quick search on his phone. I remember. The kid who went with Kim Miso. Rumor is he cleared a level 100 quest by himself. Young-cheol is not impressed. On his own? But he looks weak. Seung-ho just smirks at his friend's cluelessness. You really think she'd let a newbie take all the glory? He scoffs. I already have a great idea for our next video title. And there it is, folks. Teaching the newbie who Kim Miso carried a lesson. He hits the record button. It's showtime. Young-cheol leans in, making his big offer. Hey Sang-yoon, I'll show you some mercy. Let's do a one-on-one sparring match in training mode. Seung-ko chimes in. Camera still rolling. If we win, you leave Player Town immediately, and you'll be the star of our video, of course. But if you win, we'll stay as far away from you as possible. Deal? Sang-yoon's eyes narrow. Deal? But oh, our boy isn't finished. He snarls, add 500 million and your wrist to that wager and we have a deal. But if you're scared, then get lost. Young-keol is completely stunned, speechless. Huh? This punk? But before he can finish, Seung-ko frantically calls his name. Dude, look at this. The live chat right now. Seung-ko shoves the phone in his face and the screen is just a waterfall of people spamming 500 million. Young-keol is really sweating now as Sang-yoon presses him. Are you in or not? Are you scared? But influencers gotta influence. He's cursing about how this video can't be monetized because of violence. But at this point, who cares? He smirks. I guess I'll take this chance to relieve some stress. So they move the whole production over to the Player Town Plaza, drawing an even bigger crowd of onlookers. The crowd starts murmuring. Everyone knows these two bullies and their usual shtick of harassing newbies for content. A system notification pops up for everyone to see. Training mode is now active for Choi Young-cheol and Shin Sang-kyun. Barriers form around both players. Young-cheol grins. Just like you said, 500 million and our wrists on the line. I always keep my promises. As Seung-ko finishes the setup, Young-keol gives one last taunt. Just don't beg for mercy later. Get lost while you still can. Seung-ko gives the signal that they're ready to go. Seung-ko just lets out this incredibly tired sigh. Young-keol smirks, his hand already glowing with flames. Did you hear that? We're starting now. I don't play around. Before he can even finish his sentence, Sang-hyun has already closed the distance and is bringing his sword down. I don't play around either. Sang-hyun snarls, his eyes practically glowing. And even if you beg, I won't forgive you. And this entire smackdown is being broadcast live for the world to see. Elsewhere, Kim Miso is watching her screen in total shock. She just stares, a bead of sweat rolling down her cheek as she recognizes the face on her screen. Sang-yoon? We jump right in with Kim Miso, who is watching a live stream and looking like she's just seen a ghost. On her screen, our boy Sang-yoon delivers a line so cold it could cause another ice age. He says, even if you beg, I will not forgive you. Miso immediately recognizes his opponent. It's Choi Young-cheol, a B ranker who gets away with everything because his uncle runs the Utopia Guild. What a classic nepotism baby. Just then, a woman in workout gear walks up behind her asking if everything is alright. And get this folks, it is Shin Terry, a level 700 S-rank player from the Eden Guild. Now that is a heavy hitter. Terry glances at the screen and instantly recognizes Sang-yoon. She points and asks, "Is that not the guy you were always trying to recruit?" Miso confirms it is him, basically complaining about how he ended up on a livestream run by a bunch of scumbags. But as Terry watches the fight, she seems pretty impressed. She even cracks a little smirk, saying his movements look pretty good. Back in the arena, Young-cheol is having a complete meltdown, screaming about how Sang-yoon must be a cheating bastard. He starts powering up a massive fireball, continuing his little tantrum by calling Sang-yoon a liar. But Sang-yoon just raises his giant sword with a single hand, casually blocking the attack like it is nothing more than a pesky fly. Young-cheol's brain completely short-circuits. He just stares, unable to process what he just saw. Then with a powerful swing, wham! Sang-yoon smashes right through the fireball, triggering a huge explosion. Seon-ko is left totally speechless. Meanwhile, the livestream chat is just exploding with question marks. And our boy Sang-yoon? He just clenches his fist, a sadistic grin slowly spreading across his face as he says, finally. He thinks to himself, ever since I regressed, my body is moving exactly as I want it to. Okay, that is a little creepy, my friend. So how did he get this strong? To answer that, we have to rewind the clock back 3 hours, right after he sealed the deal with Dakyung. The appraiser is thanking them, but Dakyung is already in celebration mode, offering to buy everyone drinks on him. Sang-yoon awkwardly turns him down, which causes Dakyung to immediately panic, thinking he lowballed him on the deal. After Sang-yoon calms him down, Dakyung turns to the appraiser, but she suddenly remembers a very important meeting she also has to attend. Sang-yoon just watches them leave, clutching his new bag of goodies. For him, grinding new gear is way more fun than alcohol. He finds a quiet park bench, getting ready to absorb all his new loot. He starts with a bronze-ranked bracelet. The system shows a base absorption rate of 10%, but because it is a used item, the final rate skyrockets to 90%. He cannot believe his eyes. 90%, and right on cue, the tiny goddess of luck appears to proudly take all the credit. He realizes he's stumbled upon a massive cheat code. Used equipment gives him way more stats than brand new stuff. Seizing the moment, Sang-yoon asks her a question. He wants to know if she's ever heard of a constellation called the Late Bloomer Model Student. Oh, she is not happy about that. The goddess gets super jealous, flying up to poke him on the nose for paying attention to other deities. Sang-yoon tries to explain that this constellation is really important, but quickly apologizes for upsetting his #1 sponsor. Feeling a little generous, the goddess gives him permission to ask and even agrees to search for information on the constellation for him. Sang-yoon is absolutely ecstatic, thanking her over and over again. He really dodged a bullet there. With that little crisis handled, he turns his attention back to the glowing artifacts, ready to enjoy this wonderful meal. The mana synchronization begins, and the 5 items manifest as a giant feast. We're talking tonkatsu, jjukbokkeum, the works. Sang-yoon is floored. He can't believe these old weapons belonging to old man Dakyung would turn out to be super yummy. And every single one has a 90% absorption rate. He cannot even begin to fathom how much stronger he is about to become. Now back in the present, the beatdown continues. His title face-off activates, giving him a nice little buff for this one-on-one duel. A quick look at his status window reveals the insane power-up. He's now level 27, with his strength, stamina, and especially his luck stats going through the roof. Across the arena, Young-cheol is visibly shaking. The live chat is absolutely roasting him, saying he is already out of gas. That is the last straw. Young-cheol loses it and charges forward again, his fists blazing with fire as he screams. Miso yells for Sang-yoon to be careful, but Terry just smiles confidently. She says, "Do not worry, he will probably dodge it." Sang-yoon rushes forward to meet the attack, dodging flaming rings while reminding him, "I really hope you have not forgotten our deal. 500 million and your wrist are both mine." Watching from the sidelines, Seung-go grins like a villain. Perfect, he thinks. He fell for it. Suddenly, a glowing blue trap springs from the ground. It encases Sang-yoon's feet, stopping him dead in his tracks. Young-cheol smirks, thinking he's won. "It's my win, you fool," he announces. And just as our boy Sang-yoon called it, Young-cheol springs his big, icy trap. He thinks he's so clever. A system alert pops up to make it official. Yup, that's a direct hit with the forced freezing skill. Looks bad, folks. And bam! Sang-yoon is now a human popsicle, completely encased in jagged ice. He seems totally helpless in there. Meanwhile, S-rank player Shin Terry is watching the livestream. She's actually surprised, thinking, wait, this guy knows more than just fire magic? But Kim Miso, standing right next to her, just smirks like she knows all the cheat codes. She tells Terry to just keep watching, She's basically saying, "This is perfect. Now you'll finally see why I bet everything on this guy. Talk about supreme confidence." But her big speech gets cut short when her jaw hits the floor. She cannot believe what's happening on the screen. Yoon is completely losing it, spinning around frantically. He's screaming, "What just happened? Where did he go?" Then the sweat starts pouring. He realizes the only way out of that was a status ailment removal skill. Oh no, this guy is no newbie. Before he can even process that thought, Sang-yoon drops on him from above like a ton of bricks, sword ready for a finishing blow. Wham! Yoon barely gets his arms up to block, and the sheer force of the impact cracks the entire arena floor. Sang-yoon leans in with glowing blue eyes and a wicked grin. "Guess training mode just saved your neck," he says. And a little system message pops up to confirm it. "Training mode has prevented you from being deleted. Lucky guy." The live chat is absolutely exploding, and the crowd in the arena is going nuts. Nobody can believe what they just saw. Seonko looks at the comments and realizes they're right. Seonko's entire aura has changed. This isn't the same guy from before. He's now glowing with this sinister red energy, looming over his opponent like some kind of final boss. It's a total transformation. Back in their room, Terry is the first to diagnose the situation. "It's a type of awakening skill," she says calmly. She breaks it down, saying it's either transcendence or psychedelic. She's leaning towards psychedelic because of his new edgy black eyes. But here's the kicker. If he takes even one hit, he's done for. Terry smirks, realizing he's betting he can win this fight completely untouched. What a Chad move. Miso is looking pretty nervous now. She's thinking, he definitely did not have that skill in his inventory when I was with him. Terry lays out the two possibilities like a detective. 1, the monsters they fought were so weak he never even had to use his ultimate skill. Or 2, he's somehow grinding for impossibly rare skills in record time. The plot, my friends, thickens. Speaking of rare skills, remember that appraiser? She's reviewing her notes right now with a look of pure dread on her face. She pulls up the file for that Crimson Meditation bracelet, and there it is. The hidden skill psychedelic had a basically 0% chance of unlocking. She murmurs that to have that kind of luck, he'd have to be the personal favorite of the goddess of luck herself. And what do you know? She's right. We cut to a tiny cartoon goddess of luck watching the fight with popcorn and 3D glasses. Mystery solved. So here are the stats on psychedelic. It's a full heal plus a massive ability boost for 100 seconds. But like we said, take one hit and it is game over. Back in the arena, powered up Sang-yoon taunts Young-shil. So, he asks, should we turn off training mode and try this again for real? That sets Young-shil off. He's absolutely furious with himself for underestimating a supposed newbie. He decides it's time to get serious, and boom. He blasts the ground to create some distance between them. As he's flying backward, it finally clicks. That snake Cho Seonko completely lied to him about Sang-yoon's real power level. He is now filled with instant and deep regret. If he'd known the truth, he would have never started this fight. The crowd ducks for cover. And over in the stands, Sung-ho is sweating bullets, realizing his little lie has been exposed. But it's way too late for regrets. Sang-yoon closes the distance instantly and says, "Let's end this." And now for the finale, he slams Young-shil's face on the ground. He starts pummeling the guy, knowing full well that the friendly neighborhood training mode will stop any of it from being fatal. Young-shil finally can't take it anymore and just screams, Okay, you win. I give up." Sang-yoon stops, a terrifying grin spreading across his face. "Good. The wager's over," he says. "But now, it's time for my revenge." Young-shil is completely lost. "Revenge? What on earth are you talking about?" Sang-yoon just glares down at him, his expression cold. "This all started because of you." And we flash back to 3 days earlier. Sang-yoon is at a car shop getting some very bad news from the mechanic. Our boy is in absolute shock as the mechanic explains that his beloved car is just too old to keep running. The mechanic tries to be nice about it, saying the car was lucky to have him. This, my friends, does not help the situation. Because Sang-yoon immediately bursts into tears, imagining his car is giving him a heartfelt goodbye speech. He is not taking this well. Which brings us back to the present, where a teary-eyed Sang-yoon roars, "This is revenge for my car, you little punk." Young-shil can only cower and beg for his life, apologizing over and over for a crime he doesn't even understand. Then bloop. Is that a splash of rainbows? The poor crowd gets splattered with this weird, colorful liquid and they react with a mix of confusion and total disgust. Folks, I kid you not, this is the author's colorful interpretation of Young-shil literally crapping his pants. Seriously. And poor Young-shil is just lying there in the rubble, sobbing and apologizing to a car he has never even met. What a way to end a fight. As the crowd complains about the stink, the other half of the dynamic duo is losing it. He's freaking out. They picked a fight with the wrong dude. And just when you think his day cannot get any worse, a man who looks like corporate HR shows up and calls out his name. Seonko is speechless. This is Moon Baekhyun, a manager for the Utopia Guild, and he basically tells the streamer he's cooked. Seong-ko gives a quick, "my bad," but the manager's eyes are already on the main event. He sees our boy Sang-yoon just chilling over the body of a B-rank player he just demolished. You know, a totally normal Tuesday. So the manager walks up, all smooth, offering to clean up this mess and pay for damages. He just wants a little chat. But Sang-yoon is not having it. He cuts the guy off, basically asking, "Who are you and who sent you?" Baekhyun is stunned for a sec. He's thinking, wow, this kid has some serious nerve. But then he recalibrates. No, that is not just ego. That is the swagger of someone who has been grinding way past his supposed level. The light bulb goes off. This kid is a jackpot. Instantly, Baekhyun flips into recruitment mode, bowing and giving his full title. He starts promising to cover everything, trying to get on Sang-yoon's good side as soon as possible. Sang-yoon just casually pulls out his phone and flashes his account number. He is like, cool, 2 billion won should cover my mental anguish. My man is shameless. Baekhyun just short-circuits. He heard that right. 2 billion won. And from the hole in the ground, our B-rank victim weakly asks if a payment plan is an option. Poor dude. A little later, Sang-yoon is making his way back home and he is absolutely mobbed by reporters. The paparazzi are screaming questions about Utopia and his love life with Kim Miso. News travels fast, I guess. He tries to close the door, but they are shoving mics in his face like a zombie horde. They want the tea, and they want it now. He finally slams the door. He is wondering since when his non-existent dating life became front-page news. Yeah, my dude has zero time for romance when he is busy grinding levels and breaking the economy. But with a little smirk, he decides it is time to prep for the next big thing. He settles in to meditate, thinking about that gate raid Kim Miso mentioned. It has been a crazy week for sure. But he is happy with his progress, especially after buying some more artifacts from one of Daekyung's friends. And would you look at that stat sheet? Everything is up, but that luck stat is at a ridiculous 167. He is basically a walking cheat code. Plus, his skills got a buff. His stun now lasts for over 5 seconds, which is an eternity in a fight. Demon Bash is now level 2, and his dual-wielding training is making him a beast with blades. But wait, there is more. He eagerly checks out his other new skills. He has got blade wielding for smaller swords now and a brand new movement skill called full charging. With an escape plan and a dash skill, he is feeling pretty good about this next raid. What could go wrong? But then the self-doubt creeps in. He knows he is not fighting as well as he did in his past life. Remember the Wolf Lord? He almost got turned into Puppy Chow because he was limited in his combat patterns, and against Yonkiol he got caught in an ice trap like a rookie. He realizes he could have easily died. Twice. He looks at himself, and the mood gets heavy. If he keeps fighting like this, no matter how strong he gets, he is just going to repeat the same tragedy all over again. We get a flashback to the future when a second breakdown happens in 2040. He was totally powerless, surrounded by the bodies of his friends. Yikes, he absolutely cannot let that happen again. So he sits, stealing his resolve. This time, he needs to become unbelievably strong. He needs to become a real hero, just like the one who saved him when he was just a little kid. And his super serious meditation is immediately ruined by his phone. He answers, clearly annoyed. It is a reporter, Park Jung-min, calling about their interview. Sang-yoon's face goes white. Oh no, he completely forgot. He is scrambling, confirming the time and place. Yep, he is a world-saving regressor who cannot remember a simple meeting. The interview is at 2 p.m. It is currently 1:45 p.m. He has 15 minutes to get there. But wait, it gets worse. He peeks outside and the reporter zombies are still there just waiting for him. Alright, no time to be sneaky. Sang-yoon pops his psychedelic skill and bam, dark energy everywhere, glowing blue eyes, the works. Meanwhile, at the cafe, reporter Park is just waiting patiently. The door opens, and he looks up, not ready for what is coming. Sang-yoon makes his entrance, literally crackling with dark power. The reporter just nervously motions for him to please sit down. Sang-yoon is totally out of breath. The reporter is like, you have an interesting look, which is code for what is wrong with you. The reporter asks if he just came from a dungeon. Sang-yoon laughs, but thinks to himself that escaping those reporters was harder than any dungeon. Anyway, he apologizes, and the interview starts. Jung-min tells him he is basically the hottest topic in the player world right now. Popping up out of nowhere and pulling off insane stuff at a low level has earned him the nickname Super Newbie. Then the reporter asks if he knows just how many guilds are trying to scout him. Sang-yoon replies if he wanted to know more about Eden, thinking it is just the local guilds. But the reporter is like, no, my friend, I mean the worldwide guilds. And then he drops the bomb. 5 foreign guilds have officially requested his identity info from the Player Association. This has never happened before for a newbie. The reporter warns him to be careful. He has got a huge target on his back now. After the interview, Sang-yoon heads to the Demon Gate. His whole one-man army's plan just got a lot more complicated with foreign guilds sniffing around. And of course, all this attention just reminds him of all the suffering from his past life. He gets to the gate, still trying to process his sudden fame. Suddenly, Kim Miso is there, waving him over like they are old friends. Sangyun, over here! Miso says they have some time to kill, but Sangyun is not listening. He is staring at the person standing with her. It's a surprise guest ambush. She's all like, "My sister was just dying to meet you. Hope you don't mind," she tagged along. And folks, this isn't just any sister. This is Shintari, another absolute unit from the Eden Guild. Miso tries to de-escalate with a coffee offer, but Terry cuts right through the small talk, extending a hand. They shake hands, and our boy Sangyun is visibly trying not to have a complete fanboy meltdown. He manages to stammer out a "nice to meet you," and you can practically see the sweat dripping. Real smooth, my guy. But of course he knows who she is. This is Shintari, the legendary shadow assassin. Every player in Korea knows that name. She's a walking cheat code, the main reason Eden Guild is so OP. Her presence alone can literally change the server rankings. Sangyun is already feeling pretty smug. Yeah, his past self never got to rub shoulders with the pros like this. Then, out of nowhere, Tari drops a bomb. She needs a favor. He's thinking, what could a top ranker possibly want from a scrub like me? But hey, he agrees to help. Then she hits him with a sly smile and asks, how about a fight? Well, that escalated quickly. Miso instantly goes into full-on big sister mode, scolding her for trying to fight someone she literally just met. But Tari just shoots back that she told her on the ride here that she was going to test him for guild recruitment. Miso is not having it, shouting back, that doesn't count, sis. You can just feel the family drama. She tries to apologize for her battle-hungry sister, but Sangyun, cool as a cucumber, says he doesn't mind at all. And just like that, his answer leaves both sisters completely stunned into silence. They were not expecting that. A confident smirk spreads across Sangyun's face. Yep, there's the psycho we all know and love. Shall we get to it then? He says it would be an honor to fight a top-ranked player. This dude is totally loving this. Terry is impressed. She tells Miso she's got a good eye for talent and proposes a quick 5-move exchange. Sangyun agrees instantly, his hand already crackling with power. He's like, tell me when you're ready. The confidence on this guy. Okay, deep down he knows he's probably gonna get wrecked, but it's the perfect opportunity to see how much he's grown. But the second Terry manifests her weapons, whoa, her entire aura changes. The temperature just dropped 20 degrees. Not wanting to get left in the dust, Sangyun immediately summons his ridiculously oversized greatsword. And with Berserker mode activated, he declares, I'm ready. It's go time, folks. He's activating his psychedelic skill from the get-go. No warm-up for this guy. Meanwhile, poor Miso is just standing there looking completely lost. My friend, she thought they were getting coffee. Terry makes the first move, dashing forward so fast she's just a blur. She unleashes this swirling vortex of pure energy that catches Sangyun off guard. Sangyun knows his physical stats are way too low for this. He can't win by just reacting, she's way too fast. Clang! Their blades meet in a brilliant flash. He realizes he has to predict her moves before she even makes them. Terry just smirks, totally impressed. Your moves are pretty good, she says, like she's talking to a toddler. Maybe I should actually try now, she muses, and she still has 4 moves left. She's just been toying with him. Then she goes nuts, unleashing a furious storm of purple energy that fills his entire screen. The onslaught is insane. He's thinking, she's an absolute monster, and I think she's getting even faster. Alright, if raw power won't work, it's time to switch to plan B, a weird old training strategy. He's going to close his eyes and rely on pure instinct to read her moves. You heard me right, folks, he's fighting blind. Miso is watching this whole thing in disbelief, whispering to herself, he closed his eyes? The man is completely insane. Alright, Sangyun's in his special little realm. You know that realm he slides into in order to devour artifacts. Now, he moves, his blade meeting hers in a shower of sparks. He actually did it. Terry is genuinely stunned. That's incredible focus. I can't believe you blocked the second strike too. She gets this sly look and mentions that most swordsmen lack the experience to pull off a move like that. Uh-oh? Sangyun's eyes go wide. He's totally freaking out, thinking, does she know? Does she know I'm a regressor? With 3 moves left, he completely changes the subject and asks for a favor from her. Terry doesn't know what's up, but agrees. Sangyun throws down a new challenge. Let's skip the remaining 3 moves, just go all out. Terry just stares at him, looking like she can't believe what she just heard. The audacity of this guy. He admits it sounds arrogant, but he knows he won't get another chance. So he asks Terry for just 1 strike at full power. He's dead serious about this. If he misses this chance to see her at her peak, he knows the regret will eat him up. Miso is practically begging her sister not to do it, but Terry just smirks. She loves this. She agrees to his terms. She says she can't use skills at 100%, but she'll happily show him what her full speed looks like. Sangyun is grinning like a madman. Her max speed is exactly what he wanted to test himself against. His goal isn't to win. If he can just keep up with the legendary shadow assassin at full throttle, he'll call it a victory. He knows he has to treat this like a real life or death fight. One tiny mistake, one wrong move, and it's game over. With a wild grin, she shouts, "Here I go," and poof, she completely vanishes. He realizes instantly that there's no time to prepare for her attack. He has to already be prepared. So here's the new Galaxy Brain strategy: don't react. Instead, attack the very space where you predict she'll appear. He swings his giant sword in a massive arc, and what do you know, Terry blitzes right into its path. For just a split second, you can see the pure shock in her eyes. He actually predicted her movement perfectly. But then a skill called Shadow Illusion activates. The Terry teleports behind him. Sang-Yoon is speechless. Before he can even process the bamboozle, wham, she smacks him on the head with her dagger's pommel. And with that, the duel is over. Terry asks if he's okay while Miso rushes over in a total panic. Sang-Yoon claims he's fine, but you can tell he's salty. He's thinking, hey, I thought you weren't going to use any skills. That's a wrap on this recap. Hit that subscribe button to help us keep pumping out awesome content. Catch you in the next one.